Okay. Recording in progress. Welcome, everybody. Give me a moment here while I sneeze. Oh god, I'm so happy that happened. Whew, I thought it was going to be one of those. When you comment on them, you can't do them. Anyway. So, welcome everybody, and welcome to our wonderful new player. Welcome, John. Welcome. Excited to have you. That'll be 5 awesome players to this table. Maybe we'll luck out with the 6th. I'm going to put a little reminder out here, which I think is a bit of a bummer for our new players. But I will not be available for the next 2 weeks. I'm going to Italy for my birthday. But when I get back, we will be returning to business as usual. And I'd like to encourage anybody to run a couple one-shots. If anyone has anything in the back pocket, put it in the group. Feel free. Keep the fun going. But we'll get back to it once I get back. But in the meantime, let me do a little extended recap for the benefit of our new members. So, it is some time since the Second Unhuman War came to an end, a brutal intergalactic conflict where the Skrull armies, a roving, orcish, spacefaring race who has returned for revenge in the multiverse for their defeat in the First Unhuman War many hundreds of years ago. They battled viciously against the Elven Armada, but they did come out on top, the Elven Armada. If but barely. It crippled them significantly, and they're no longer the law-enforcing race that they once were, the law-enforcing force across the multiverse. So now it has returned to a sort of frontier state. People can do what they wish, do what they please, for the good or for the worst. And in the wake of the end of the Second Unhuman War, many veterans find themselves displaced, but luckily, a war hero by the name of Captain Lunarbow, an astral elf of great prominence, has put together a crew of some veterans who require a place to be and require a place to make some coin. And so the New Dawn, a great cutting-edge space galleon, was established, and here we are today. We find a hodgepodge of strange collection of individuals who find themselves displaced after the war and are just trying to make their buck out here on the frontier, doing whatever job comes to them. Hopefully nothing too disreputable, but as long as it pays, we're going to give it a shot. Seems to be the motto of the New Dawn. And all seems to be going well so far. And they find themselves now hunting a bounty. They hunt the Gender Sun Star, a ghost ship that has been out and plundering. Hunting this ghost ship, the crew of the New Dawn hopes to make a name for themselves and make some significant coin from the plunder aboard their ship. You have tracked them, you've hunted them across the wild space system, and finally come to attack them over the planet of Carpri, which is the next planet past the world of Toril, which is the campaign setting of the Forgotten Realms. But here's where we are today. You see this ghost ship, this sort of half-destroyed hammerhead warship flying in at you just at the edge, and a conflict is on the horizon. So, as we do in Wild Space Battle, we are just going to roll side initiative. And should it come to be that we need to roll a proper initiative, we will do that. But in the meantime, who would like to roll just a d20 to represent the New Dawn?
I'll roll.
Go for it.
Just a flat d20, 6.
A 6. Unfortunately, it seems the Gender Sunstar beats the initiative, and they will be going first. All right. Only 2, we don't really need to track it too hard, but we'll put it up there anyway. So, the Gender Sunstar, its great mass turns towards you in space. And as you're sort of watching, you hear Captain Lunarbow say, All right, I want to open fire as soon as we can. And before he could finish the sentence, the ship seems to sort of almost flicker. The Gender Sunstar. And then disappear. And the captain sort of goes wide-eyed and goes, hold fast. Prepare for its re-arrival. I think the galleon is going to say, Spelljammer, proceed to jump closer. And with a success, your ship will blast forward about 300 feet, moving up the range, but not terribly certain what range it is you're moving closer to. Says everyone on their guard, keep an eye out. And let's see. Is there anything anyone would like to do during their turn as the new dawn proceeds? The ship has seemingly disappeared.
You know what? I'll start getting ready to reload this siege weapon I'm helping Bisan on.
All right, it's already been prepped, but you grab like another stone in your hand with the help of your other, and you proceed to be ready to just fit it in there and get ready. It's a good ready to action. Fair enough.
I'll ready in action to scan the ship once it reappears.
Fair enough. Basan, anything from you?
I think right now Bisan is staying at ready look because as soon as she sees that thing, she's gonna fire.
All right, ready action fire as well. Chaplin?
I'm going to. Oops. Yeah, I'm going to make my way, I guess, to the mangonel.
Okay.
To prepare to try to jerry rig if necessary.
Got it. Yeah, feel free. Go ahead and make a roll for it.
All right. $17.
So,
That's the natural roll. It's actually something else. But anyway, it beats the 15 DC.
15 DC, fantastic. And what is that's a reroll and one's on damage dice for the mangonel, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, incredible. Also on the mangonel team, so there's 5 actions to fire it. 2 of them is loading, 2 of them is aiming, 1 of them is firing. So since the loading team is ready to reload, the team that is responsible for sort of aim is going to ready action aim, because they don't know where to aim at right now. So as soon as it appears, they will aim the mangonel and get that portion ready. Okay. All right. Your guys' turn again. The Spelljammer is going to try and... Yeah, Spelljammer's rolling real good today. He's gonna sort of jump closer. The captain's gonna tell her to come about. The ship will come about 90 degrees. Sort of showing the broadside. Anything else from anybody? We're all pretty well in place, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So what happens next? We'll go to like a slight narrative. Just a brief narrative piece for the moment. You all stand quiet. The ship sort of comes about sideways. The captain sort of ceases jump and movement and is just going to hold fast. And the captain's sort of like looking out, listening. He goes, "Come on, you bastards, where are you?" And is sort of looking out. Everyone sort of holds their breath and waits. The ballistas are manned. The mangonel's ready. Everybody sort of stands true and waits. Boom! The ship suddenly just gets full throttle ram. The whole ship rocks as the hammerhead ship comes into appearance, having blunt rammed into the side of your ship. And that's gonna let off a number of held actions, but we're gonna take care of the ram first quickly. I'm actually gonna go get my enemy ship on the mini board here real quick. Per it being a hammerhead ship, it is going to make true on its name and smash into the side of your ship, dealing the hull of your ship 112 damage.
Ooh.
Chaplin, you got a little really? No!
Got a little work to do?
I got work to do! Yeah, it's like, oh! Okay, let me see here. So that's gonna be 6 damage. Smashes into the side of your ship. A number of held actions are gonna be let loose. Since they were prepared, I will allow them to let loose their held actions first. It's a little, let's see, anything within 200 feet. So the mangonels is a little close range for mangonel fire, but it isn't for ballista. So they're gonna take a shot with the ballista, and they're gonna try and shoot. The captain. This will be a straight roll because they did a 116. Let's see here. Where are you? There we are. Alright, let's see. Is that gonna hit El Capitan? It does not. This ballista shot from invisibility fires across the top of the deck of the ship towards yours, and you see the captain, this huge, like, tree trunk-like bolt, and the captain sort of, at the last second, kind of just, like, turns his shoulder, and the ballista bolt fires across his chest, but doesn't get hit by it. And the captain says, "Return fire!" Unfortunately, this is too close range for the mangonel to fire, perhaps intended by the ghost ship, but the ballistas will fire off from your ship as they're turned to position. The mangonel will be turned in position, but it can't hit anything that is closer than damage. I believe the mangonel does specify. It can't hit anything within, oh, never mind, 60 feet of it. Yeah, the mangonel will go off, my bad. Go for it. +5 to hit Basan. My mistake. So the enemy will get all those shots off as well. The first shot's a little far, but the other mangonel will go off. I really should pull out a space galleon just so I can reference it.
Muted. Vito.
I'm so sorry. I cannot remember. I've got a 19 on my dice, and it's a +5, so that's a 24 to hit.
That's right. That'll hit.
I'm rolling d10s,
Yeah,
right? How many?
That's right. Mangonel is 5d10.
Thank you. I don't actually have the mangonel stat block in front of me.
No worries at all. I'm happy to remind you.
Okay. Let's see. We have 3 and a 9 is a 12, and 8 is a 20, and 6 is 26, and 3 is 29.
29 to the hull of their ship. Kabam! Big mangonel shot fires right into their ship, hitting the hull of their ship. A ballista the ballista missed the captain, but the mangonel shot is going to hit the hull of your ship, dealing an additional... Damn, that's it? They didn't roll too good at all. Additional 20 damage, sort of scathing shot to the side of your ship. Clearly one ship is in a little bit more of a dire hit than yours. Yes?
Can I target their mangonel? Is that something
it
that I
is,
can do?
yeah, you can, and you will notice that there are 2 mangonel aboard their ship. At this close range, as you look right over and see they got a mangonel I'm gonna screw up all of my ship terms. But right at the prow of the ship, there is one, and then there's another mangonel back at the stern castle. And they haven't fired the one at the prow. You get the sense it's too close range to accurately hit your ship.
So yeah, I would like to change my target to the mangonel in the back.
Okay, got you. How much damage did you deal?
I dealt 29 points of damage.
All right, 29 points of damage. You would have told your loading crew or your crew to aim for there. So 29 damage to Stern Castle Mangonel. And that is the Hammerhead. Okay. Yep, that's a hit. And the Mangonel is still looking sturdy back there. Still looking sturdy. I forgot, I gotta roll for... I'll tell you what, I'll let you guys roll. Better yet, John, do you want to roll for... Because we haven't quite got to your character yet. Why don't you roll for the New Dawn's Ballista for us? So they got 2 Ballista that are firing. Roll me 1d20 plus 6, if you'd be so kind. And do it twice.
Sorry, I was on mute. 5 and a 19.
A 5 and a 19. Is that with the plus 5 attached to it?
No, so that'll be 10 and 24 then.
10 and 24. Okay, one of them is going to hit. The bolt bounces off the side of the hull ship. The other will hit. Go ahead and roll me 3d10 damage.
Okay. That is 9.
9, got it. Where do you think this ballista's aiming for aboard the enemy ship? The main hull? Is there anywhere specific you think the shot's firing at?
I'd most probably try and aim for somewhere valuable, like the bridge, as in where they're trying to jam it for. I don't know the
cool.
term for where the throne is or where it is.
Fantastic. So yeah, we'll say aiming for the hull then. Aiming sort of for vital opportunities to sort of take down the ship. Fires in, scathes some of the side apart, or actually with their damage threshold. Unfortunately, that won't do any damage. Sort of bounces off the hull of the ship. Okay. Fantastic. Whew, that was a turn.
You still need to my ready action to scan the ship.
Yes, we're not quite done. Go for it. So we roll opposed. What do we roll again?
Arcana.
Got it.
21.
21. That will definitely beat the enemy Spelljammer.
By how many multiples of 5?
Good question. Let's see here. So that's, they rolled an 18, you rolled a 9, so not many. Only the no multiples of 5, but you definitely beat them.
So I guess I get basic information. So how many people are on board, ship type, size, and speed.
Fair enough. Okay, ship type. This is a hammerhead ship. It has a flying speed of 35 feet, 4 miles per hour. How many people are aboard? I guess I'll give you both. It could hold. That's kind of like I'm gonna exclude that piece of information because it doesn't make sense to me. That's kind of a recommended crew level. But the number of people on the ship itself is, let me think. There's 17 individuals aboard the ship. Did I miss anything, or is that all of it?
Size? Although...
Size. It is, and I'm pretty sure this is giving you what you want. So it is obviously a gargantuan ship, but it is it has a 250-foot keel and a 25-foot beam.
Got it. I shall relay this to, I guess, Lunabo and the Spelljammer.
Incredible. I imagine they all go, ooh, keel, beam, yes.
Well, I guess the most important part is the number of crew members. That's the useful
No, it's
part.
all good. Yeah, absolutely. I think I'm just making fun of myself more than anything because I came up with the feature. But that definitely signifies that this ship that you're facing is much bigger than yours because the Space Galleon keel beam is 130 by 30. So you got a slightly bigger beam, but their keel is like close to double. So this is about double the length of your ship. Okay. Anything else? Any other held actions? All right. That is their turn as their ship comes to a halt post blunt ram. Immediately on the held action, thanks to Vito, Bassan, your mangonel was already reloaded. The new Dawn's turn comes around. You're re-aimed, Bassan. You may certainly take another shot if you wish to.
Oh, yes.
I'll give her bardic inspiration as well.
Hell yeah. All right, a little bardic inspiration for you, Bassan. Go ahead and roll another attack if you wish.
I'll be taking that inspiration now because that 4 is not hitting anything.
All right, roll I believe it's a d6 on top of that.
Actually, wait a second. Never mind. I won't because a d6 isn't going to help that. I don't believe. Never mind. I just miffed it. It was
Okay, you just...
Hold on. It's a +5.
That's right.
So 3 plus a 5 is an 8. No, I don't think it can help me. I just miffed. I'm sorry. I didn't hit it.
Yeah, I don't...
I don't think I can make the
help.
DC. I think even if
No,
I got
not-
a 6, it would.
Yeah. And it is a wood... you guys have been spacefaring long enough. You do see the hammerhead is... its hull is made of wood, which would be a DC 15. So yeah, you don't think you can make that shot. But then you fired it, and you're just a little too far off, and it sails right over the hull of the hammerhead.
All right.
Okay. I'm gonna do a little check for. I think the captain is like tells the Spelljammer to back this ship right off. He doesn't want to play this game. He doesn't want to be right up in melee, so to speak, with this other ship. What's the speed of this bad boy? 35 feet. If it gets to sort of drift the ship off from the hammerhead hit, I'll put it a little further away just to sort of help us understand we're a little further off now.
Before he does that,
Yeah,
can I cast spells on the enemy ship?
of course.
Can I cast Bane on their ship?
Well, the ship is an object, so you could try and pick creatures on the enemy ship to cast it on them.
It's got to be within 30 feet, so I figured like only the front of the ship would be close enough.
Okay. I'll tell you what. What's your passive perception?
Passive perception is 12.
12. So everything's happening a little fast. You run over to the side of the ship, and you look over, and you do see at the prow of the ship. Actually, they'd probably be shooting now because you guys have moved within the correct range from the fire. You see a mangonel lift off, firing another mangonel shot at the hull of your ship. There's a rock as you guys feel another 34 damage laid into your hull. And you see there is a mangonel crew right at the prow. So if you wanted to put a bane down on those guys, you can go right ahead.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. I'll roll 3 saves here. What is your DC, my friend?
14.
14. We've got, and it's a wisdom save. We got a failure, we got a success, and we got another failure. So, 2 of the crew on the Mangonel will be baned, the other one will get away. So it's 3 Mangonel crew that are okay, the other 2 are baned. And I imagine you probably hit the guy who's aiming with the bane. So we'll say the Mangonel crew currently is hit with a bane.
Nice.
Good job, good job. Okay. Sweet. Anybody else? Varsh, you're more than welcome to take another shot at the orrery if you want.
Yep, I'll scan.
All right, go for it. Ooh, they roll pretty good this time.
21 again.
21 again. I'm sorry to say they rolled a 22. They managed to overcome your check just by a little bit to squeeze across the finish line.
Be like a clash of minds. Okay.
Yep, a clash of minds. Yeah, you're trying to scan past, you're trying to access the actual Spelljammer helm past the actual Spelljammer aboard it, and you feel your clashing of wills, and they manage to hold you at bay in that moment. Okay. What about the rest of yous? Chaplin, what about you,
Yeah.
my friend? You got anything?
I guess I will go and begin mending damage. I don't have those rules in front of me if you do.
Yeah, no problem. I'll go grab those really, really quick. All right, ship repairs.
Only the hull has been hit so far, right?
That's right. So, mending cantrip. Roll me 1d8 plus your spellcasting ability modifier. A little juice you can
Alright.
put back into the ship.
That's 12.
12, the ship will regain 12 hit points. Fantastic. And you know what? At's aboard the ship, and I think he'd be doing the same thing, so why don't you just roll again?
Sure.
So he just follows suit.
I don't know. Are we giving it at any type of spell casting modifier?
Yeah, add yours.
Okay. So 8 for him.
8 for him. All right. You guys get that mending juice back into your ship. Fantastic. Okay, that was a lot of stuff. We got Basan's shot. John, I'll tell you what. Would you like to handle the blisters again, my friend?
Yeah, go on.
All right, go ahead. I'm going to say that they're probably... let's see how well... Yeah, they're going to aim for individuals on the ship as well. Go ahead and roll me some attacks. 1d20 plus 5, I think it is. Yep. Or plus 6, excuse me.
Plus 6. Okay, that's 14.
All right, 14 and...
13. Rolling well.
14 and a 13. Is this with the bonus added?
Yeah, that is it.
With a plus 6 bonus?
Yes, with a plus 6.
Got it. 2 shots. They fire off at the ship. Unfortunately, do not meet their mark because they were aiming at an individual aboard the ship. You see a sort of person walking across the deck of the ship, sort of spouting orders. The ballistas aim and fire, but unfortunately they miss. This person's a little too fast, a little too protected to be hit by those shots. Okay. That is going to bring us to... Alright, let's see. Yeah, that'll bring us to the bad guy ship once more. They're all going to aim and they're going to fire some more. Ballista's going to shoot again for the captain. Ballista shot misses. The captain is a little too dodgy for that. Actually, he's probably propped himself behind the mast at this point as he realizes he's been targeted. And then these 2 mangonels are going to go off at the ship. One of them hits, one of them misses. Ship's going to take another 32 points of bludgeoning damage. The captain yells out, "Don't lose your nerve, man! Keep firing!" And I think that's going to be that for the they're just gonna keep laying in. I think they're gonna kind of turn. And they're gonna move their little 35 this way, just keeping to the side of your ship. Let's see if there's anybody aboard who's got any sort of... Nah. Okay. That's their turn. Back to you guys. What do you want to do? Your ship is taking pretty decent damage, but it is still very, very much afloat. Is there anything else?
I will go ahead and ready that load action.
Okay, you go over, you load. Let me think here. Because you did the ready that. Oh yeah, so you'd be good. So Basan, you're prepped for another shot, if you wish. Muted.
21.
21. That will hit. Go ahead, roll damage. You're aiming for the mangonel again?
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Alright. That's 10, 12, 21 total.
21 total. Alright, that mangonel's taken significant damage. It hits it again. The crew sort of scatters and runs back over to the mangonel, but it's as you sort of like look over at the other ship, you see that it's sustained decent damage at this point. It is splintered, aka bloodied. You've done well. Okay. Who else?
Can I make another scan?
Of course, go for it. Alright.
18.
18. That will beat them by a margin of 5.
Cool. So since there's a margin of 5, that means where's my fees?
Let's say you get 2 of them.
Yeah.
Or like 2 levels.
I learn the AC, total and current hull points, and damage threshold, and what the PCU value is.
PCU?
And core PCU value. I don't know what that means.
Core PCU? What was I thinking? Let me go take a look. See if I can figure out what I was writing. Alright. PCU? I don't know what that is.
I'll just take the AC.
Alright, I'll take a second look at that afterward.
Total and current hull points, damage threshold, and then also 1 weapon. The damage it deals, and yeah.
Yeah. Alright, cool. I don't know. I may have taken a lot of this from another content source, so perhaps that was something I overlooked. But anyway, AC of all hull points. So it's got 2 mangonels worth 15 AC each. It's got a ballista 15 AC, and the actual hull itself is 15. So it's a 15 around the board. Yeah. Total and current hit points. It has a total hit points of 400, and it has sustained 56 points of damage to this point. I'll give that to and then the mangonel itself that has been sustaining damage is at half health. It is 100 hit points each. It's at 50 hit points. The Stern Castle mangonel.
Since it seems that it's only weapons and mangonels, I kind of already know what the damage for mangonel is.
Yeah, exactly. You have it aboard your own ship, so you can gauge that one.
Okay, that'll be my turn then.
Okay. Yeah, information about one weapon, including the damage it deals, and start the most rapid fire. Yeah. Well, I promise you that weapon one's going to get more interesting as the campaign progresses. It's not going to be ballistas and mangonels the whole time.
Cool.
Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else got stuff to do aboard the ship?
I think
Chaplin.
I think there was a limitation, like a time limit on how often I'm allowed to mend. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, you can only mend once an hour.
Yeah. So I guess at this point, I probably return to our mangonel, which is our most effective weapon so far, and try and jerry rig again.
All right, go for it.
That does not beat the DC, so we're no good.
All right, you're trying to jerry rig the mangonel. A little too much action going on here. A little too much challenge here. Fantastic. Why don't we do 2 more ballista shots from you, Mr. Kyle?
Okay. So, +6, yeah?
That's right. We'll say that they're aiming for the Stern Castle
So,
mangonel as well.
17 and an 8.
The 8 will miss, 17 will definitely hit. Roll me 3d10, please. Good job.
Oh, 17.
17. Okay. 17 damage to that rear mangonel. Alright. Takes another shot. Starting to get hurt. You see the captain's looking over the ship, is trying to gauge. He's trying to gauge something. He's speaking with the Orsanquo. Trying to figure out what the best maneuver is here, but seems to be sustaining this dogfight for the time being. Incredible. So we'll bring us back around to their turn. They're gonna take a ballista shot. Has anyone been a particular pain in the ass? Well, Varsh, you're probably stowed away. No sense being out on the deck doing orrery stuff. Same with the Spelljammer. Captain's on the deck, because Captain's gotta be on the deck. Captain's a little hard to hit now. So, why don't we aim at the angry Gith behind the mangonel? On the mangonel fire. So there's gonna be a ballista shot in your direction, Basan. Luckily, it is at long range at this point, and this ballista shot sails about 5 feet over your head, but it's very clear that they're aiming at you all of a sudden. And then the other 2 mangonel shots will go off at the hull of your ship. One misses, the other hits. Hull of the New Dawn is going to take an additional 34 points of damage. Your ship is considered bloodied. You're considered at half health. Your ship is sort of toting along here. The captain goes, damn it. That is going to be your turn. The captain says, all right, men. It looks like they're better armed for this sort of fight, so we're going to have to bring the fight to them. Who wants to board? Goes, they want to ram? We'll ram right back. And it says, Spelljammer, crash their ship. Going to the Spelljammer's going to crane around. They're going to start making a beeline towards their ship. On the next turn, impact is imminent. Okay, what do we got? What do we got for people around the ship?
I guess I'll do one last scan before we ram it.
Fantastic. Go for it.
That's not good. That's a 5.
That is a 5. You try and I gotta repose. See how we go. Yeah, easily blocks you out, keeps you from entering the systems. But I'll tell you what. As the ship's sort of floating in, it's gonna look at you, Vito. It says, Vito, you're training to be a spelljammer, yes?
Yeah.
join me below deck really quick. And is going to sort of like run to the cargo hold. You go with him?
Yeah.
All right, we'll deal with that in due time. Captain says, Captain's got a plan. Basan, would you like to take a shot?
No, I do.
Of course. Go for it.
I guess we're gonna stay on the mangonel because can we reposition the shot to aim for the hull?
Yeah.
You have the time to do that?
Yeah, go right ahead.
All right, yeah, since we're boarding, I guess there's no reason to continue to aim at his weapon.
You can aim at the ballista. There's a ballista aboard their ship, and that's more short range, if you wanted.
Oh yeah, let's fuck that up.
All right, go for it.
21.
21 will hit. Roll me some damage. Ballista's got far fewer hit points, so roll really good is what I'm saying. In fact, roll perfectly.
8. Oh, it's not perfect. 8 and 6
okay.
is 14. And 2 is 16, and 10 is 26. 29.
Oh shit. In a single shot, hits the ballista immediately below half hit points. You can tell it's like all rickety now. Another shot would take out the ballista. Probably. Another shot like that anyway. Okay. Who else? Vito's running below. The captain and Vito are dashing below deck. Chaplin, did you want to rig up anything?
No, I'm not gonna rig anything. I'm going to go ahead and make my way to where I assume the boarding point is going to be. I want to be ready to board as soon as possible.
All right, fair enough. Why don't we see if we can't toss a couple extra. Oh, I should be rolling wisdom saves for my Bane dudes. I've just been adding up Bane without checking on it at all. Okay, yeah, they're still Bane. All right, my Mr. Kyle, ballista,
Yeah.
please. 2 ballistas. They'll aim for the ballista
so,
that Basan aimed for as well.
2 12s.
2 12s with the +6, unfortunately, is going to miss. Doesn't quite meet the AC. Sails across the ship, unfortunately. All right, that is the galleon. As you guys are sort of moving closer, you can kind of start to quietly hear this sort of this sound coming from the crew of the next ship as you all are moving into a ramming position. Their ship is going to take their 2 mangonel shots at the hull of the New Dawn, and both miss catastrophically. The rocks sail right over your ship, and the ballista that is barely hanging on misses as well. All of their artillery misses this round, and they're going to just advance another 35 feet. Almost daring the New Dawn to come closer. All right, before impact, this is what happens. Vito, you run below deck with the captain. You see sort of in the hull, or in the cargo hold, he sort of pulls the lid off of a box, and you see sitting within is a spelljammer helm, an inactive spelljammer helm. And he says, okay, here's what we're gonna do, Vito. Have you ever been in a spelljammer have you ever been in a spelljammer duel before?
No.
Okay, today's the day. You get to be in your first spelljammer duel. Help me move this. As you begin to sort of move the chair, he says, this is what's going to happen. We're going to load this helm onto their ship. You're going to sit on it, and you're going to claim possession of the spelljammer from the original spelljammer. Just work with me on this one. Trust me, it'll be fun.
Right,
Mostly fun. And you and the captain start hulling the thing, and he goes, oh, wait, brace. And at that point, the ship is going to crash into the other ship. Oh, forgot about this part, brace. And the 2 ships are going to collide. I'm just going to go look up those crashing rules very quick, because they're important. Oops, there we go. plus the Spelljammer's proficiency modifier. Spelljammer hits the armor class. Otherwise, crash occurs. Otherwise, move out of the way. Let's see. Crash damage. The ship point apply the damage to the ship. The ship stops crashing. Otherwise, the ship continues as pow. Effects of the crash. The ship's gravity plane is suspended. My Spelljammer crashes since they go losing damage, and both the ships or creatures are struck by the damaging object or take the damage of the crash table. Okay, so they're both going to take the same crash damage. Nice. Both ships are going to take 69 points of bludgeoning damage. This space galleon was not meant for ramming like the hammerhead is, but nonetheless bashes into the side of the ship, and then is going to have the ship sort of come about slightly so that boarding is a little bit easier. What else? What's everybody doing at that point? Well, I'll tell you what, really quick. John, why don't you give me your ballista shots right now as they try and take down what remains of the ballista before we proceed.
So an 8 and 18.
An 8 and 18. The 8 will miss, the 18 will hit. Go ahead and roll me 3d10 damage, please. Roll well, my friend, roll well.
I'm trying. 11.
11, okay, that is... the ballista's still hanging on, it's still teetering along, but it is heavily damaged.
Can we not get one last shot off?
You certainly can, you won't be able to board next round, but yes, you can.
That's fine, this is...
Yeah, you... and then run for it. Go for it.
Okay, that's a 19, so 19 plus 5 is 24.
19 will hit. You're aiming for the ballista?
Yeah.
Alright, go for it.
Live through that, bitch. That is 10, and a 3 is a 13, and a 1 is a 14, and an 8 is 22, and 4, 26.
Mangonel shot, direct hit. And you see all the other crew sort of just dives out of the way. The stone hits the ballista dead on, and it shatters into 100 little pieces. That ballista is destroyed. And then we run. Okay, at which point, let us go to the other map, because we are going to be entering a very different battle. Here we go. Hammerhead ship. We are going to need a new initiative here. All right, if all of my individuals would be so kind, feel free to go ahead and roll me some initiative. And bear with me, I'm going to prep the what's going on.
Why can't I roll initiative? It's across all characters. My initiative sucks.
Initiative. This is whatever, in my opinion.
Oh no, sir. No, sir. Practically destroys the party with 2 like twin bomb hellfires. Initiative matters.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That is fair. Can't argue with you there. As the ships collide, their gravity planes align, or yours aligns with theirs because you're the smaller ship. I'm just trying to position you where you guys would have impacted. You probably would have hit them right in the hammer. Work with me.
Not in the hammer.
Not the hammer. All right, there. You guys probably smashed into them and then turned there. Yeah, we like that. Okay. Yeah, you're gonna bear with me here, please. All right. So, done. Vampirates. I'm actually gonna just grab an extra mini and put it down because I don't want to reveal where the Spelljammer is on the actual ship. Because that's part of the beauty of you know, I don't know, use this guy. What the hell is he? We'll get them proper initiative once we know what their deal is. And then I gotta put all you folks in there. I'll tell you what, until anyone's boarded, you're gonna stay, like, keep your initiative rolls wherever you are. But it is technically the new Dawn's turn, so I want to figure out who's gonna be actually boarded at this point. So, the ballista crews will board. That's gonna give you 6 crew to back you up. But who else has boarded the ship? Varsh, what are you up to? Varsh is on.
We'll go to board the ship.
Fantastic. Chaplin, you're on?
Yeah, I actually used my last action to get in as best boarding position as I could, so I should be pretty ready.
Fantastic. Vito, you're going to be boarded next turn. You're helping out the captain with a little special project. And Basan, you fired, so you're running down the deck to get into position to board. Okay, so I'm going to throw Varsh. You could have boarded here, we'll say, and because you put the dash in Chaplin, this is where you would have landed with your movement. You would have got your dash in there. So is there anywhere particularly you wanted to go?
No, that's fine for now. That's fine for now.
Okay, got it. These guys all sort of fled the ballista. I'm gonna just get rid of their ballista altogether and replace it with some rubble, because that's what it is. It's rubble. Give me pieces of shitty wood. No. Come on, mate. Nothing?
I think I saw some further back.
You did? I missed it.
And there's like, what you point about that they were highlighted for a second there.
Yeah, let me just for a couple boards. All right, whatever. We're gonna use this. It's technically not a campfire, but whatever. It works. Okay. We need cool music. Flying Thunder sounds cool. Let's do that. I'm also gonna give you guys like a, because we're fighting a ghost ship. We're gonna give it some atmosphere. Okay. So let's get Varsh and Chaplin's initiative in there. I need to roll some initiatives for myself. Okay, their captain didn't roll. Fantastic. Second we got a... And then... Oh, I re-rolled them. They rolled a 12 to 14. And the enemy Spelljammer rolls. Oof. Oh yes, I gotta put some allies on there for you. So, you guys will have the assistance of the Commandant for 1. Joins you on the boarding party.
Are we gonna get a not very confident archer?
Yeah, you're gonna get a very a sort of unsure of themselves archer. Nobody's really caught on to it yet except you guys. Like, fuck.
Low self-esteem archer.
He's got like a new bow, and it's like one of those like crazy like carbon fiber with like the 3 different bow lines. He's like, yeah, this will compensate for my failures. All right. Let's see. Where are you? Oh, there you are. Yeah, so you guys are gonna put you at the front of the docking party. So we're gonna say the other guys haven't boarded quite yet, and we're gonna throw the Commandant on there as well. Mr. Commandant, where are you? There you are. All right, bam, bam. Commandant rolls pretty darn good. For 11, and lastly, the elves. And they roll a little. Okay, let's get initiative going. Thank you for your patience. Let's get it going. So, I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's just get everybody in on there, and then whenever you board, you board. It's just going to be easier this way, so I don't have to remember all of the initiatives. So, Vito and Basan will get you on there as well. And the captain's coming aboard, so I'll get him in there as well. And he rolled pretty decent for himself. Okay, let's do this. Who rolled 25 to 20?
I rolled 21.
Very good, very good. Where are you? $21. Do we remember what the New Dawn roll? Does anybody remember the roll was there? Any by chance?
I don't remember.
That's
I rolled
okay.
a 6 early.
A 6.
Oh, yeah,
All right.
I think it was a 6, yeah.
It was a 6 because they did beat you in initiative. Okay, 6. Got it. Okay, very good. Who rolled between a 20 to 15?
18.
18 for Chaplin. Who rolled between a 15 to 10? A whole bunch of people on my part. Who's ES? Come on, brain. Oh, elves. Yeah, the elves. And the El Capitan. All right, so what about 10 to 5?
9 for Vash.
6 for Bisan.
This could be San. Very good. What is your dexterity modifier?
I gotta check. Dexterity modifier is a 1.
A 1, all right. Unfortunately, you will be going after a certain somebody. And then the New Dawn will lose the initiative because it doesn't have a dex, so to speak of. And then all that's left is Spelljammer and the actual Commandant. Well, the Commandant did pretty good for himself. I don't know what I'm talking about. All right, there's our initiative. So we will begin again at the top as we enter into proper initiative here. So, Vito. Below deck, you and the captain are like hauling this this throne, this chair, this magical throne up to the top of the ship, and he's going to explain to you what he will be expecting of you in a moment.
Fair enough.
And I'm going to tell you what that is. Okay, so their ship has a Spelljammer head aboard it. If we put our own Spelljammer helm aboard the ship, and you hop in it, you can try and assume control of the ship. Basically, you'll enter into a battle of wills against their Spelljammer. If you succeed, you will exhaust their Spelljammer and take control of the ship. If that doesn't happen, well, we'll deal with that when we get to it. At which point, I'm going to say you and the captain will get to the top deck of the ship with the helm in hand, using dash action and all. You're moving pretty quick here. And the captain sort of yells out, he says, clear away on the prow, men! And that'll probably be that. Is there anything particular you wanted to do, Vito?
Who's the burliest looking person close to me?
On the good guys team or the bad guys team?
On the good guys team.
On the good guys team. You see this massive gif, this hippopotamus-like creature. I'll give you two options. So there's the gif who jumps off. He's got like a blunderbuss at his side, or like a hand, almost like a pistol-like musket, because he's so big. and a long sword at his side. He's huge. He's this big, broad warrior type. You also see the vicious Gith individual named Basan running down the deck, who is about to board the ship as well. Very scrappy. So you've got like the big, broad Gith who's like, huzzah! And then you've got this very determined, scrappy Gith running aboard the ship as well. So those would be probably your two most burly options, I would put it.
All right, I think Bisan already has my bardic inspiration. So I'll go ahead and give it to the GIF.
Okay.
And then I had a question about the plan. I looked up Bane, and if they get Baned, it's a concentration, so they don't get to re-roll every time. But if I'm gonna sit in the chair,
yeah, you'll lose Bane.
Concentration. Okay, fair enough.
If you succeed, you'll lose. If you succeed, you'll lose Bane.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna go mark down my Bane individuals. Keep track of them. Fantastic. All right. Anything else?
That'll do it. I don't know what I'm doing with the chairs. Well, am I hoisting the chair with the captain, or can I take an action?
Yeah, you got it in your hands. You're like hoisting it with him for sure.
Okay, so would I be able to like clumsily fire off a shot with my hand crossbow?
Sure. We'll say, yeah, why not? We'll say that you turn around, you take a hand crossbow shot off the side of the ship. So you would be on like the main deck right here. What is the range on a hand crossbow?
Let me double check. 30 and 120.
All right, this will be a disadvantage shot, but you can take a fire at whoever you want to.
Would I be at disadvantage shooting at the people on the trebuchet or mangonel or whatever? Is that still more than 30? That looks pretty close to where I'm at.
It is more than 30, yeah. So you would be aboard like the main deck. The closest individual, yeah. Yeah, definitely more than 30, I'm afraid. But you can take a shot at, I think the rear mangonel's a little far for, is it 120?
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay, you can pretty much hit whoever you want, but it will be a disadvantage. It's a little far away.
I'll probably shoot at whoever's closest to our allies, just to give them a...
Alright, so probably this guy you can see, so go for it.
Alright, let me shoot. My hand crossbow is also loaded with silverware. It is not loaded with bolts.
Okay, there's a kitchen knife in it. So disadvantage just seems apt at this point. Regardless.
Yeah. 15 disadvantage.
15 at disadvantage. To anyone's shock, as Vito pulls out and like loads a hand crossbow and shoves like silverware knife into it, they're like, the fuck? And then fires it and it hits anyway. They're like, oh, okay. Go ahead and roll damage.
Let me get that.
That's funny.
8.
Oh.
So max damage.
8 on the max damage. Yeah, you... And very Pirates of the Caribbean, the first movie where they're just loading like junk into the cannons and stuff. You fire this off, and this kitchen knife does like stab into this guy's shoulder, and he's like, bah! And like the nearby like elves and plasmoids are like, okay. Well done. All right, that'll bring us to Chaplin. Chaplin, you are in the boarding party, my friend. You are on the front lines, and the commandant goes, huzzah! What do you do?
Yeah, how many did these baddies are we've either been told, or can I tell they're undead? Yeah.
You look at them and they look deathly pale. Their eyes are sort of hollowed with sort of black lining around them. They're very very storybook undead, like very clearly visually like what you'd imagine undead to look like.
All right, so I guess at this point, so there's a little, I explained it in an earlier game, there's a little kind of square in Chaplin's headband that kind of, a little door opens up, and there's a little gold nugget inside that starts to shine a little bit, and his eyes glow a little bit brighter, gold, and he tilts his head as if listening to something. And how many of the ones there and in front of them can I get in 30 feet to turn undead?
Turn undead. Great way to clear a little space for you and your crew. So that's 30 feet right there, but you've got some movement to play with.
Yeah,
so if
can I move?
Yep.
I'd like to try and include the ones that are baned, if possible.
All right. So if you moved, if you wanted to hit everybody down there on the prow, that's kind of the position you need to find yourself in. So you could kind of, it would only be like, you got to kind of jump over. So it would be like, 5, 10, 15 to here. And you could catch everybody down on the prow. You might miss this guy who took the silverware shot, but that'll hit everybody down below.
That'll work.
All right, you jump below. There's this little glow on your head, and you spring forth. You connect to that divine power that you've been connected with, and it funnels into you and outward. So that's a wisdom save from all these guys?
Yeah, 14, and the Bane folks have to do it with a...
Minus D4.
Yeah.
All right, let's check it out. Let's see how we do. So the guy's right behind you here. They're gonna fail. What's your DC anyway?
14.
14. So these guys fail. They're turned. Down below. 14, you say?
Yeah.
This one is turned. The other one succeeds. I'll get this last guy out of the way before I deal with my Banes. This guy fails. And then as for my Baned folks, that's absolutely a failure on a 14 DC. And that is absolutely a failure. Bane definitely took one of them down. But the other two... So both guys are Bane. Both of my Bane... Fuck, of course they are. Both of my Bane people are turned. So as you spring forth this power from within you, you feel yourself clinging onto a very shard of divine power. A piece of the god that you pray to fires forth from your circuits. All but one are turned in this moment and sort of scream before your divine power, ready to run. I believe when their turn comes around, they have to run away from you as fast as possible.
And then with my action, I would like to hit Bisan with Shield of Faith.
All right.
I'm sorry,
you
bonus
see
action.
Yeah, bonus action, no problem. You see Bisan running down the deck. What's the range on Shield of Faith?
60 feet.
Oh yeah, we'll see you catch her. You kind of look back and you fire the shield faith off before you. Bisan, you feel just a little bit of divine power defending you from what's to come next. All right. Well done, Chaplin. What a fucking turn. Good job. And on the vampirates' turns, quite perfectly, many of them go run screaming. They were not pleased about this part of their job. This one runs and just fully runs off the side of the ship and just runs down the side of the ship to sort of cower. This one will do this as well. They'll all just kind of huddle down there because they have to run as far away from you without getting closer or into damaging spaces. So I think they all just run as fast and as far as they can to the bottom of the hull. And we'll just cling to the side of the ship. This guy's going to do the same thing. Off you go. Ta-ta. And they all have dash actions, so that's what they'll do. I'm just going to dash and cling to the bottom of the ship like bugs. And yeah, this one's gonna run and do the same thing. Sort of cling over here. So these guys all dip. And this, what's left? What else we got? This one guy manages to resist and sort of sees all of his buddies are gone. And I think he's gonna go for a little run. Let's see here. Yeah. He runs through the ship. Gonna be a little generous, but they managed to get through the other side with their action. This guy's going to sort of fall back as well. Sort of fall back down here. As he's running, though, he's going to look at you, Chaplin. He's going to growl as you send away his buddies, and he's going to take a light crossbow shot at you. How does a 17 do? You did.
Yeah, 17 hits.
17 hits. You, my friend, are going to take 14 points of piercing damage as a bolt fires into your back.
Ooh, ow. Okay.
Youch! Make me a con save to maintain Shield of Faith.
Ooh, that's a 10.
That's a 10. You managed to maintain it. The Shield of Faith sort of begins to fizzle out, but he remains concentrated on the protection of Basan. And then this one runs away. As for these guys at the back, they're gonna all... Yeah. They'll loose off another shot at the New Dawn before running away. Which will hit. Just as a sort of like, fuck you, I guess. They had it loaded, might as well shoot it. It's gonna be 23 additional damage to the hull of the New Dawn. And then they're gonna all begin to rally to take down this new boarding party. Yeah, he doesn't quite get there. Okay, fantastic. Them's the vampirates. That's going to bring us to our archers, who are going to run over 20, 10 feet. This guy looks down the hall with his compact, weird crossbow he got at port the other time. Because of his lack of confidence, he's going to shoot at disadvantage. Because I'm not so good at this, but I'll try anyway. He fires it, and it just sort of like spins out like it's not even like a proper fire, and he goes, "Corlon's abandoned me."
Get it together, man.
Get it together, man. He fires again, and he's like, it just misses. He goes, "What's the point? I'm not even a proper elf anymore. Well, the war's over. I'm useless." He is truly pities himself for his lot in life, and I'm gonna mark him so we know which one's the one. This archer runs by and goes, "What is your problem lately?" He goes, "I'm just really sad, okay?" And the other guy's gonna much more confidently take 2 shots. Both of them are gonna hit decisively. For a total of 12 damage to this guy, who looks to be important. Alright, Lunar Bow, he already took his turn with you, Vito, moving everything. The Commandant is going to go boom, jump onto the ship, and he's gonna do the whole Terminator 2 like reload it like that. He's gonna fire a musket shot off the side. Actually, is he too far away to throw a grenade? This guy's a madman. This guy's an absolute fucking madman.
You know, I love it when he throws grenades.
a little far for a grenade right now. So he's gonna do the, and he's gonna fire a musket shot at the guy at the head of the group. It's gonna hit for 14 piercing damage as he takes that musket shot. And he starts to go over like 6 seconds. He's gonna do a full musket reload with, let's be honest with ourselves, it should take 12 seconds maybe. All right, Varsh Voidlight, it is your turn, my friend. What do you do?
I'm sort of thinking either. Okay, I'm gonna post him next to the commandant.
Okay.
And take out my longbow.
All right, so that's gonna be 15 feet just to jump over the rail. Take out your longbow. Go for it. What's next?
I'll shoot the same target everyone else is shooting.
All right. Yeah, there's this guy, and he's like, "Prepare to meet your," and he just gets like fired by like a whole bunch of shots into him. Go for it.
That is a 21 to hit.
21 will hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
6.
6. Takes another shot. Didn't like that very much. Anything else?
I've got some movement left, right?
You do. Yes, you do. You have 15 feet.
Can I move like behind where the ballista is, just like to get some cover?
Absolutely. Yeah, you can move right there. How's that sound?
Yeah, that sounds perfect. I'll stay there.
Incredible. All right, that brings us to the captain, who has been. Actually, I forgot to have this reaction, so I'm going to give it to him real quick. Has uncanny dodge, but I suck at reactions when it comes to controlling NPCs, so I'll have to bear with me. He would have half dodged the musket shot into a less vital area. Let's see. And he's sort of like... he doesn't have a sword, actually. He just points like a long... It looked cool, but he didn't do it. He has this heavy crossbow sort of slung over his shoulder, and he sort of... points his finger. And he is going to take a heavy crossbow shot at the commandant who just shot him with a fucking gun. Which is rude. Oh no. You might not have a GIF anymore. Nope, he's alive. He's alive. Good news. But takes a shot and fires it at the commandant. Heavy crossbow. Shoots like right there at the commandant and like plants itself right in the throat of the commandant. He grabs his throat. A nat 20 for 53 damage on the commandant, who drops to a knee and spits up blood. The commandant is heavily bloodied, but he is hanging on to life. If anyone's seen Kingdom of Heaven, right in the beginning when the German guy gets like a bolt through the neck and he just starts and he keeps fighting anyway and dies in the end, that's kind of what's going on here. Maybe he's not going to die in the end, but he's got a bolt right through his throat, but he seems determined to keep fighting anyway. And the captain is going to run forward 30 feet, call it a day. Bassan, you see this. Your buddy, the commandant, he takes a bolt from the throat from this most evil fiend.
Can I get
you, at the end of your movement, can board if you wish. So you will have an action and a bonus action remaining as you board.
Yeah. Real quick, as I get up here, as I'm on their ship, is this... Nah. I was going to try to shoot the pirate captain with a ballista because he's pissed me off.
Well, unfortunately, the ballistic crews from the New Dawn have like moved away from.
That's fine.
There, so you would require 2 actions to load and aim in order to actually fire it. Jump on, action, bonus action.
So my full movement gets me on the ship.
Yep.
Then I guess I have to take an action dash.
All right. Where are you going?
Who hit my friend?
He's out of sight right now, but what looked to be the captain of the ship based on his apparel.
We'll go in that direction then.
All right. You can get to here. I will remind you, you do have a little action surge available to you if you want to take an extra action.
I will wait for when I'm actually engaged to use that.
Fair enough. Absolutely, fair enough, fair enough. All right, that is all. It's the New Dawn's turn, in which I get to use plasmoids for the first time, because you guys have a couple plasmoids aboard. Yeah, plasmoids! Yeah, plasmoids! I just gotta find one that is reasonable. A reasonable stat block to bring aboard here. Hang on. Yeah, that's a little bit more reasonable. I don't remember exactly what minis I was using, but you see this plasmoid jump on and goes, "Huzzah!" And 2 more elves jump aboard as well. Come on, elves. This one goes, "Commandant, are you alright?" And the Commandant's like, because he can't speak right now. The elves are going to take aim, and they're going to fire. Alright, how is her bonus? That one is going to hit, that one is going to miss. And then another hit and another miss. So that's going to be another 12 damage to this guy here as they start taking shots. It's fine. Okay, that'll bring us to the enemy Spelljammer, who... yeah, this is where things get a little wonky. But is going to move the ship, try and foil a board. Try and foil what remains of the board here. Which brings us to your turn, Vito. Alright. I'll tell you what, though. I'll be a little fair. I'll say the Spelljammer, because they didn't move on their last turn. Your Spelljammer would have prepped an action. So your Spelljammer tries to get as close as possible. So Vito, you and the captain can board the ship at this point, if you wish.
If we board, what's the next thing would be? I would sit in it, which would be an action, or... well, the actual, what is it called? The actual duel is going to be an action. Okay.
So you two board the ship then, if you're interested.
Yeah, I will go ahead and give Bardic Inspiration. Am I close enough to Chaplin to say something?
Yes.
Okay. I'll give Bardic Inspiration to Chaplin. And he can use this inspiration as a magical secret to add the Bardic Inspiration die to the bonus healing for the GIF. So an extra D6.
Can you do that at second level?
Yeah, it actually starts on second level.
Oh, okay.
It's called
Cool.
Magical Secrets. It's either damage or healing. You took the Bardic Inspiration die for the healing or the damage. So.
Okay, fantastic. So you're resounded with this, and you know that you can use that to enhance these things for yourself. Very cool, very cool. Okay, so a little Bardic Inspiration that way. You just get there, the captain sort of props it. He says, "All right, good luck, Vito." All right, you jump in the chair?
Yeah.
All right, jump in the chair. You feel pins and needles shoot through your body as before, but you feel yourself smashing into the consciousness of another spellcaster on the ship. So, as you are trying to take control of the ship. All right. So here's what happens. This is just a constitution check. This is about who can sort of hold their concentration against one another. You feel this entity on the ship. You need to try and resist. Roll me a flat con check. Oh no!
18.
Oh, that's really good. An 18 will surely pass. As you clash with the will of this other spelljammer aboard the ship, you feel them fighting you, but you hold out much longer. You have a more stronger mental stamina than the other spelljammer, and you sort of thrash past them, breaking their hold of the ship, and you feel that they're violently ripped away from the control of the ship. You get the sense things are not so good with them wherever they are on the ship right now. And you are the new spelljammer of this ship. You have taken control. So as the controlling spelljammer of the ship, you can do whatever you want. All right. And just to make sure, especially you're sitting in it, you gain the fall. So actually, a slight amendment, as I made a mistake on the ruling here. It doesn't take an action. All you have to do is sit down. So you still have your action available to you, Vito.
Let me ask you this: can I adjust the air in the ship?
No, you cannot adjust the air.
Okay, unfortunately,
I
was gonna like raise the air bubble up just a little bit so everybody on the bottom of the ship would fall off, but
I see. Well, you can. You can adjust the air. Think of the air like atmosphere. There's nothing you can do to control that. But you can control the ship, and that means that you can like tilt it. You can like steer it up, down, make it go forward, make it go backward. I believe as a pilot, you have a number of sort of piloting maneuvers that you can bring to bear. It takes no action to move the ship. The speed is a 35 speed, so if you want to just will the ship to move 35 feet in any direction, you can. Or if you just want to like take out your fucking hand crossbow and take some pot shots, that's also cool.
Let's see. What all can I control on the ship? Can I like control the weapons on the ship?
You control the movement of the ship.
Okay,
You're
just
the
the movement.
Yeah.
I know you said something about me being able to see everywhere on the ship as well, right?
That is absolutely true. So, yeah, just to give you a full disclosure on what you're capable of, I'm going to go through the actual item here.
Okay.
So, you are maintaining concentration this time, so the Bane has faded. But you can use the Spelljammer helm to move the ship through space, air, or water up to the ship's speed, which is 35 feet. If the ship is in space and no other object weighing 1 ton or more is within 1 mile of it, you can use the Spelljammer helm to move the vessel fast enough to travel 100 million miles in 24 hours. Unfortunately, the New Dawn is considered more than a ton, so you can't do the cruise speed, but you can move the ship up to its 35 feet. You can steer the vessel, albeit in a somewhat clumsy fashion per ship, in much a way that a ship might have a rudder or an oar to be used to maneuver this seafaring ship. You can only steer it up to 90 degrees at a time. At any time, you can see or hear what's happening on or around the vessel as though you were standing in a location of your choice aboard it. Those are the 3 things you can do aboard the ship.
Okay.
You can move, you can steer, you can view.
Here's another theory. I would like to move the ship in such a way that the hull of the ship grinds against the hull of our ship and scrape the people off of the ship that way.
Okay, I like it. Fantastic. So, per the damage thresholds of both ships, I'm not going to deal any damage to them because they have like a 15 bonus there. So you begin to maneuver the ship. Just because I haven't looked at it in a while, are there any piloting maneuvers you'd like to contribute to this that you think might be helpful?
Let's see.
Yeah, because you selected a couple, so...
Yeah.
Or you can attempt one of the following stunts. Oh yeah, stunts, that's what they're called.
Yeah. I think maybe flip and burn lets me move forward up to half its speed and rotates 180 degrees. So like any enemies that are on any of the flanks of the ship would be basically crushed in between the two ships as they rush against each other.
Hell yeah. All right. Make me a DC 15 vehicle check. So, you took, we talked about this. You took proficiency in one of the vehicles, yeah?
Yeah, it is a vehicle. It says land, but it's for space vehicles or whatever.
Got it. So you're a charisma caster. So roll me charisma plus proficiency plus a d20.
Okay.
To try and pull off this flip and burn. DC 15.
$21.
21 will certainly be successful. In this moment, as Vito, you see Vito, like energy pulsing from Vito, and the Vito fully takes control of the ship. The Spelljammer helm lights up. In a stunning stunt maneuver, the ship suddenly lurches, like the actual rear of the ship, which is the stern, I guess, suddenly just like lurches upward and basically turns the ship into like a skateboard and like does like a grind across the side of the New Dawn. Everyone has like this, oh, what are you doing kind of moment as the ship grinds across the side of the New Dawn. But then as you look left off of like the trail, I'm just gonna roll to see how many of these guys managed to actually stay clung on, because there's 3 at the very bottom, so you wouldn't have caught these 2. Oh, sorry, there's 4. So I'm just gonna roll some checks on these guys to see if they can stay on. Nope. 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 1. You see 3 of these vampires just sort of get flung into space and are fully taken from combat. So as he sort of grinds the ship against their ship, 3 vampires are just shot off like grinding cockroaches off of the bottom of your boot. So, boy, that's going to be interesting for me to represent. So you kind of like tilted the ship this way, now it's sort of pointing down. So I'm going to actually knock over the ship. I wish it could go the other way. Because you went across it like that. So technically it would be like here right now, because you kind of tilted it up and went down. There, that's how we'll represent it. Whew, that's kind of cool. You just tilted across it. The captain's like, holy shit, I need to give you a raise. Is there anything else you want, Vito?
I think that's it. That's my bonus action and my action. So I think I'm set.
Very cool maneuver. Go ahead and take inspiration. Very creative use of piloting. Incredible. That will bring us to Chaplin. Chaplin, my friend, what would you like to do?
Yeah. So, he's just been spoken to by Vito. So he's again kind of cock his head at Vito, understand what he's been told, and walk immediately toward the commandant.
Okay. Start walking towards the commandant. He's like loading his pistol while holding this bolt in his neck, and blood sort of pouring down his uniform.
Yep. Slap a little mechanical hand on him and cure wounds.
All right, go for it. Roll it up.
So that's going to be 14 points of healing.
How much, sorry?
14 with the bardic inspiration.
14 is excellent. It's not gonna completely save him, but in this moment, as you put your hand on it, he kind of sort of groans, and the bolt is ding, 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 sort of is healed and pushed out for an object from his throat, and the healing sort of seals those major arteries to protect him from bleeding out. It's not perfect, but it is, in true Chaplin fashion, a patch job. And perhaps can be improved upon later on, but he sort of Thank you. Spits up more blood, but he's gonna survive this fight. Is the important part.
It did
And
look
then
like
I'm
he
go-
subtracted that, just not to.
Yeah,
off.
in order to hide their hit points, I add the numbers up, like how much damage it is. So this isn't a representation of their current hit points. It's a representation of how much damage they've taken.
Fair.
Yeah, so subtraction is giving them health back.
And I will crouch behind the line of warrior type folks in front of me.
Got it. Yeah, you just kind of hold fast, no problem. All right, it's vampire time. I think they're gonna. Let's see. We got these three guys, and they've all got big old crossbows. You're right in the front there, Basan. All right, Lucky, it's your time. Dodge this. They're all gonna take light crossbow shots at you, Basan. These three. Okay, we got one. He misses far out into space. Someone's gonna have a very unhappy day somewhere. 14 to hit.
No.
No. And even worse. These shots go off. You just plant your shield between them. One sails by. And these three are going to approach the edge of the deck. Oh no. What are you doing down there? These guys are going to run here with dash actions. And then these guys are going to run over here and hold fast. I don't know why I'm moving him. It's not his turn. Okay. The elves' turns. They're gonna run. Oh yeah, they're gonna. These guys are military, or ex-military. They got a system. They know how to do this pretty good. I think they're all gonna line up over here. These guys are gonna just cover the captain. Sort of like take a knee, bow at the ready in case. They're just gonna cover the captain, held action. But this one runs in, is gonna go with 2 shots, and then is going to fall back and give room for the next one to take 2 shots, and that one's gonna fire back, as they are expertly trained Elven Armada warriors. Longbow shots. One is gonna hit, one's gonna miss, and the other 2 will miss. So one shot will meet its mark for, give me 7 damage. Okay, that's Captain Elkin Lunarbone. He says, all right, Vito, stunning work, keep it up. And he is going to say, today we claim ghosts as our kills. This is our prey. And he is going to raise his mace over his head. And he is going to... It's going to sort of glimmer with the radiance of the astral plane. Some, given your sort of culture, there's something to be said about this astral elf. Maybe not the psionics, but there's still a deep connection to the astral plane and its hidden secrets of power that, perhaps your people might smile on. It's not what they usually do, but it's something. And he is going to very recklessly jump over the railing right into the middle of the fray, jump down onto the deck of the ship. He's going to roll a check to make sure he doesn't land on his ass. No, he does not. Lands, and he's going to turn around. Only people from the actual deck of the ship can see this, but the captain, Lunar Bow, and he's going to turn around with his mace and he's gonna bam across the guy's face, and he's gonna start working away. He'll take 2 mace swings. Unfortunately, he doesn't aim too well in this moment, but radiant power fizzes from the mace, and he is going to miss the captain as the two of them begin to engage in mortal combat. The captain says, the gift says, "Oh, Captain, you got in the way of my grenade." And he says, "Well, next best thing." And he is going to... Don't actually do that. That's not advised. Don't ever actually pull the pin of a grenade with your teeth. It's just not... Anyway, and he throws the grenade. Only a gift can do that. Don't do that at home, kids. And he is going to throw a grenade onto the deck of the ship. Plug your ears. And he's going to be sure to miss the captain, but hit as many vampirates as possible. He is going to run in to make sure that his shot is true. There's going to be some dex saves from these 5. That is a swing and a miss, a swing and a miss. There's going to be 2 more, and that one is going to succeed. Our wonderful GIF does not have any grenades left, but that's okay. That's going to be 16 damage to you. 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 And you. Not enough to damage the hull of the ship, but blast goes off. These vampires take significant damage. Okay, and that's the commandant. He says, "Charge! Mr. Voidlight, you're up to bat, my friend."
Alright, move me to like the other ladder on the left there. How far is that?
Alright, at 30 feet you can get to here, in which you can see a number of them.
Okay. Remind me, what is like the rules as far as like changing weapons goes?
You get 1 free stow or draw. 1 free action stow or draw, but you can drop a weapon for free.
Okay. I'll just fire my bow for now, and then I'll stow it afterwards.
Okay, cool. Go for it.
I guess I'll aim for... Who can I see?
You can see... Ooh, look at that rigging. I would say any of these 3 folks. Clean shots on these 3.
Do any of them look particularly like injured, or are they all about the same?
Yeah, they all took grenades, so they're not the happiest people right now. This one looks to be the most damaged, the one at the front.
I'll shoot the one at the front then.
Go for it.
That is a dirty 20.
A dirty 20 definitely hits. Roll me some damage.
7 piercing damage.
7 piercing damage. Fantastic. This guy's very bloody.
And I'll then stow my longbow.
Alright, you stow it. Incredible, incredible. Alright, the captain turns on your captain and is going to take some swipes. He's gonna try and grab at the captain. For a 22 to hit, he grabs onto the captain and he opens his mouth and clamps down on his throat and is going to do 26 points of necrotic damage to the captain. And the captain, fuck you, pushes him off. And that will be his turn. That brings us to Bassan. What do you do, Bassan? The captain is in the midst of the battle. What do you do?
I'm going to run in.
You charge. 20 feet lands you there. You're going to be well in range of 2 vampirates and the captain of the ship.
Do I get any kind of flanking advantage if I hit the captain?
Yeah.
Then I'm going to hit the captain. At least get one good shot off.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, so there we go. Okay, that's pretty good. 17, 6, 23.
23 will hit. Roll me some damage.
Actually, can I crit fish since it was that advantage?
Of course you can.
Nope.
Nope. All right. Deal some damage. 7?
7.
So he's got his face buried in the captain's neck. He's like, get off! And you just come up behind and you strike him across the back, and the captain, the vampire captain, releases and kind of turns around and looks at you, releasing the captain. Anything else?
Action surge.
Action surge. Go for it. Another action. Go for it.
Yay! Alright. Not too shabby. Doo. Sorry, I have to go back and all over the place. Alright. Not great. 15. Oh, but I still have advantage, don't I?
Yes, you do.
That's better. 18 plus 6 is 24.
That will certainly hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
5.
5 damage. Still all counts in the end. This captain is looking pretty. He's looking bloodied. Starting to look a little bloodied. All right. Well done. Anything else?
Yeah, I'm just trying to find where to mark my action surge.
It should be in features.
Yeah,
features
I found
and
it.
traits.
I just wanted to make sure that I marked it off.
Nice. Fair enough.
Nope, that's
all right.
I don't think I really have any bonusy sorts of actions. So yeah, that's good. That's me.
All right. The new dawn. At this point, I'm just gonna throw the plasmoid after the new dawn. What does the new dawn do? I think the new dawn. Damn, I think what's even crazier about the turn and burn is that like when the two ships interact, their gravity planes align. So then, as you hit the ship would have been pushing itself in, making it. Yeah, that would have been crazy. I think the ship just like the Spelljammer just takes a moment to like begin to align the ship again, and that's what the new dawn does. It just adjusts itself and aligns itself to the rear of the ship. They're gonna leave a couple of crew on board just in case. Who knows why? Plasmoid goes, "Whoa, oh no!" and is going to charge in. Everyone goes, "What?" Charges in here. He goes, "Take this, you bastards!" and is going to throw a javelin at anyone really. This one. That'll hit. And that's going to be 7 damage. Not bad, Mr. Plasmoid. How much health these guys got? Oh, they're still hanging on. Enemy Spelljammer. I gotta see how badly they were afflicted by Vito's hijacking. Oh fuck, they're not doing too good. Yikes. Oh no. Okay. You guys see out of the back of the ship, holding their head very unhappily. You see this like very strange dark-robed individual like holding the ship, kind of like ugh. Their skin is like you know, the other guys are pretty pale. These guys sheet white pale, bloodshot eyes, whatever happened when Vito took over the ship, it did not sit well with this fellow, and he sort of stumbles across the ship, sort of like violently dizzy. And that's it. That's their whole turn to get on the deck of the ship. Vito, is there anything else you'd like to get up to?
Boy, well, the ship righting itself kind of ruined my plan. Can I get a good view of the... Because I'm going to do a similar maneuver as I did last time. Can I get a good look at our ship?
Yep, you see our ship. They see the ship from the other side. Yeah, you can see anywhere on the ship as if you were standing on it. So yeah, you could easily see the ship.
Let's see. Okay. So I want to tilt the ship we're on now downwards, and then can you zoom in on the main combat area?
Yep.
Okay, can I flip the ship like a hammer and crush these 5 gentlemen here that are right next to the captain?
Oh boy, let's see if that's possible. So, you want to use the belly of the New Dawn to sort of scrape the hull?
Yeah.
Same way, okay, let's see.
Maybe not even the belly. I could probably do it with like this like sharp edge here. So I'd turn it like a 30 or 40 degrees left, and then upend the whole ship and smash it into them.
Let's see.
I have
So
kind of a drawing for it. I'll share my screen real quick.
That'd be 90. Well, I get what you want. You want to like put the belly of the new, or any portion of the New Dawn, on the deck of the ship to fuck up those guys aboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. I'm just trying to see. So you could do a 90 degree. You could do a tilt. You could definitely try it. Okay, I want you to make me another vehicle check. It's going to be a little bit of a higher DC because there is a ton of rigging sort of supporting and blocking the main deck of the ship. There's a very good chance you might get tangled with the New Dawn.
Okay. And then I can use inspiration after if I fail.
That's right.
Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. Let's see the first one. Okay, so 19.
19. You go ahead and use your inspiration.
Go ahead and use for inspiration. All right.
You want to reroll?
That is a crit.
That is a crit. Oh, I guess you get what you want. Incredible. So it may not be a 1-to-1, but basically you bring the ship about, because you can only do a 90-degree turn at this point. So you get like the ship here. You start, it's not going to be perfect. This is not how ships are usually meant to be used, but right. It will work. So you end up like smashing the mast off of this ship. So all of this, I'm going to quickly go into a builder real fast, because all of this is just like smashed off into wild space. You completely snap the main mast. Fucking snapped and gone, along with any of the rigging. I could have taken that with me, but I didn't, because I forgot. Let's get the rigging off of there. And yeah, so the ship is not very, it's space worthy, but it's not much worthy of much else. And at this point, you scrape the bottom of the ship on a nat 20. I'll give these guys some strengths. I'll give these guys some deck saves to see if they can get out of the way in time, because it is a big lumbering ship after all. So I'll give them a save. One fails, another succeeds, and another succeeds. So the whole ship sort of rocks. This guy manages to stay afloat, but these two guys are knocked off of the side of the ship, go hurling into wild space. I'll have a con saving throw from everyone. as this is definitely grounds to be knocked about a bit. Move you this way a little bit. Sorry. Commandant stays on his feet. Plasmoid boy falls down. Captain stays on his feet. The elves generally stay on their feet. Enemy Spelljammer definitely falls down. Rest of the vampires stay standing. Hassan, how'd you do?
Got a 10.
10? Okay, Hassan, you're going to be knocked prone, unfortunately. Chaplin?
13.
13. You're going to be knocked prone. I set the DC at 15. Varsh?
I'm down.
Right, yeah.
5.
Yeah, very, very violent crash in here. Actually, there's a point. This is technically considered a crash. It should be more mean about it, I think. Yeah, so we're going to consider this a ship crash, because you're basically grinding one ship against another. We'll let you get away with the first one, but I think this one is definitely... we got to be fair at this point.
Yeah, because I'm just going to keep doing it if you don't punish me.
Yeah. I'm sitting here going, I feel like this damages the ship somehow. I don't know how, but maybe the ship's getting a little damaged. There should be repercussions to grinding two ships together. So that will be 74 damage to both hulls. The New Dawn is looking bad. That's it is holding together by planks of wood. You hear somewhere in the ether, "Stop blowing holes in my ship!" So you're getting the sense, Vito, you're about getting to the end of the endurance of the New Dawn. But nonetheless, another successful tactic. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Let's toss another bardic inspiration at Chaplin, just in case.
All right.
He's...
Understood.
All right.
Another inspiration to you, sir. Yeah, you fall down too. I want to be fair and just try and hit all of them. You stay standing. You stay standing. You don't stay standing. You stay standing. And you stay standing. Okay, they did really good. Okay, speaking of which, Chaplin, you're... damn. What do you do next?
Yeah. First, I'm gonna stand up.
Okay.
And then Chaplin actually is in pretty bad shape because he took a real bad crossbow bolt earlier. So I'm gonna reach down and snap that off. That crossbow bolt. And I'm gonna use my mending cantrip and my healing machine racial trait to heal myself.
Fair enough.
I have a question, and it's going to be a terrible question that no one wants me to ask.
Yeah.
Have we switched mending from a 10-minute spell to an action?
Is mending a 10-minute spell?
It's either 1 minute or 10 minutes.
Oh. That's a good question.
It is a 1-minute spell. Damn, I didn't notice how that was an action. Thank you for the clarification. So I'll tell you what, Chaplin. I'll let you off the hook this time. You can go ahead and use your mending cantrip on yourself in this instance. But future reference, yes, we will consider this a 10-round, 1-minute spell.
Okay. That is fine. Thank you. I appreciate the grace.
Yep.
And I will take it this time and then remember that for the future.
Fantastic.
All right. So let's see. And then I will go ahead and make my way down toward where the battle is happening.
All right. You make your way. All right. You start
who's
making
still
your way
down
over
there? Anybody?
down here. The captain and Basson and the plasmoid dude are all fighting the vampirates.
Yeah, I mean, how many vampirates are left? Did we mash them
couple.
with the new one? Okay.
Mashed a couple.
All right. I'm gonna try and get like toward the fringe of that conflict.
You want to dash over there?
Well, I don't have an action left, as I assumed I was using it on mending, but
Yeah, that's right. So that's about as far as you can get because you have
I'll
movement
just take
stood
my
up.
normal. That's fine. I'll take my normal movement. Yep.
All right. Vampire's turn. Boy, it's suddenly very hard to see. This one stands up. Who else we got? Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. All right. These two are going to attack the captain. One misses, the other has advantage on the flank. That is going to hit the captain for 11 necrotic, takes a big bite out of him. This one's going to charge the captain. Same thing. That's a miss. These two guys are going to attack you, Basson, because you're prone on the ground. You're an easy target. It's going to be 2 23s to hit.
Technical difficulties. Yeah, both will hit.
No problem. That's going to be 4 and 10 necrotic damage.
Okay.
So they bite into you and drink your blood. The elves will stand up. They go, Captain! These ones are going to run around to where you are, Varsh, because you had a good idea, so they're going to follow suit. We like good ideas around here. And they're going to do the same thing. They're going to sort of trade positions to get their shots off. Let's get those out of the way. 1, 2, 4. Unfortunately, they are all misses. I'm sorry to say. They're just not... they don't have the luck on their side. This one's going to have enough speed to get out of the way. And this one's going to get in there. So they're all going to get their shots off as well. Or this one can... Yeah, they're going to have to trade, though. 2, 3, 4. Okay, 2 are going to hit for a total of 12. Try and protect you, Basson. Which brings us to Lunar Bow, who turns around and sort of grimaces and says, "That's enough." And he's going to take his mace and just clock the captain in the head as hard as he can. He's going to have a flank because of you, Basson. Hit. Hit. Money, 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 money. That is going to be 4 and 8 damage. So that's going to be 12 damage. But per the power of the Astral Sea and his own divine will, radiant damage is going to explode across the captain. And it seems in this moment you recognize the captain is quite vulnerable. These vampires seem to be quite vulnerable to radiant damage, and are going to take an explosive. Let's see here. 54 damage as the captain slams, pours off, their body disintegrates into ash, and then the captain brings the mace around, slams into the vampire's head, and just turns his skull immediately to ash, and he falls to a crumbled bones on the deck of the ship. And the vampire captain is destroyed in this moment. And in this moment, as all of the other vampires see this, they all sort of growl and screech, and they all, like rodents or insects, crawl down to the bottom of the hull of the ship, disengaging from combat and relieving you all of immediate danger. And I think that is where we're going to go to our break. As the battle is won, the captain has slain the major enemy, the vampirates flee. Now it's a sort of a cleaning job more than an active combat job, and a hurrah is heard across both decks of the ship. And maybe the captain says, "All right, Vito, you can stop grinding my ship into sandpaper, but thank you. You've done magnificent."
Where do these pirates flee to? We're in space.
I don't. You know what, Vito? That's for us to worry about and you to find out. I appreciate your initiative. We really appreciate it. Stop now, please. And that is where we'll go to a break, and we'll be back very soon to return, see what bounty has been collected, and make our way back to the halfling world to enjoy our plunder.
And
we'll be back very soon.
Some really inventive, interesting, just great choices, y'all.
Using the shirt was
Huzzah for
good
everyone,
moves.
because you guys
Good
were awesome.
moves.
Yeah, great moves. Very interesting piloting skills, Vito. I loved it. I'm a big fan. This guy's a real maverick. Better watch out.
He's dangerous.
Oh no.
Good evening.
Hello.
Just wait, not Chaplin, and we'll get back in business.
Since we're waiting, I had a something I wanted to talk to you about briefly.
Sure.
What would your opinion be on me making like some quote unquote recipes that give minor buffs? So like I would feed the party, and then this minor buff would last up until like the next long rest, and it would just be something stupid like in order, I know one of the ones I thought of, in order for rogue not to abuse it with assassin, like after your first turn of combat, then you can get like, you have like a bankable up to 3 points of advantage you can use until your next long rest, or maybe even some I think the other one was like under a certain health threshold you can use a bankable so many to get disadvantage against you on attacks. Just really minor stuff.
Well, I guess my question to you would be, what are you putting in the food that is granting potential advantage?
It's just really tasty, man. It's really tasty.
It's so tasty that my aim is better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, with my flavoring of me inspiring people with food like smells, I guess it would be a little bit of magic, but it wouldn't just be like this this I just make this and it's made. It would be sort of like a roll, and then the roll would determine how effective that particular recipe was, which is kind of like why I was saying like it would be a bank of up to. So like if I rolled like a
Hmm.
13, then they would only get 1 use of advantage. But if I rolled like a 20, then they would get 3.
Well, I'll tell you what. Have you looked at the chef feat?
I have not looked at the chef feat yet.
Well, the chef feat grants you the ability to do something similar to that, where it grants like a couple of hit points. Like you make like these snacks, basically, that can provide a little healing. And I think maybe that's where that comes in the sense that, like, you know, as of now, you're a cook, and that is to say, before I get too distracted from myself, Xanathar's has a number of things in there that you can do with your tools that sort of expand on what your possibilities are. So for cooking utensils, let's see. Cooking utensils. Calligrapher, carpenter, cartographers, cobbler. Cooking utensils, here we go. So as part of a short rest, you can prepare a tasty meal that helps you and your companions regain their strength. You and up to 5 creatures of your choice regain 1 extra hit point per hit die spent during a short rest, provided that you have access to cooking utensils and sufficient food. And then the actual Tosh's chef feat allows you to similarly like start granting health. So I think my thing when it comes to cooking and what, you know, Wizards of the Coast are clearly trying to tell us is, you know, like thematically, like cooking's really good for the constitution. And I think we can all agree on that. Like a good meal is like makes you more hardy and makes you more ready to go into battle, more energy. So I'd say as of now, because you have proficiency with cooking utensils, you can access anything in the Xanathar's thing there, like prepare the meal and whatever. And I'd recommend you check that out because that could be cool, give you a little extra bonus. And then take chef when you get a chance, if you want to, of course. And then maybe we can work on something a little more expansive than that. But I'd say right now, I don't think advantage is gonna fit there. But I think if you take chef and you start working into those, like, you know, special power-up snacks, then maybe we talk about something a little more efficient like that.
Fair enough. This works for me anyways, because I was looking for feats that would also grant me that bonus ASI. So, especially
Sweet.
for Constitution. So that'll probably won't be 4th, but maybe about 8th.
Yeah, okay. So we'll say, like, because chef really seems to start to dive into that, where it's like, okay, now we're granting like ability and like we're really affecting the ability of people with our food. So maybe we could dive into that there. But yeah, I think all the tools have their place and purpose in the game, and I think cooking utensils is really about like constitution and health and improving vitality, and that's kind of what food is for.
Fair.
Yeah. But yeah, we can work on that once Vito becomes an expert chef. Okay, bringing her back around since everybody's with us. There's a hurrah, excitement. It says, don't get too comfortable. We still have enemies that are clung to the bottom of the ship. Remember what we're here for. We're here for the loot. So let's get the loot and get the hell out of here. But in the meantime, I want to start posting a guard around the edges of the ship. And he starts to, order the crew to sort of get around the ship. He sends a message up to the Spelljammer on the New Dawn and says, get the New Dawn away from the ship. I don't want any danger to the ship. Come and pick us up once all of the treasure is up aboard the deck of the ship so we can be a quick and fast transfer. I don't want anything happening to our ship. Disable the mangonels. I want those strings ripped apart. I don't want any fire being done upon our ship any longer. And let's get this done quick and fast before they grow some courage.
I'd like to approach the captain and say, we have enough pilots at this point. What's to say we can't just take this ship and add it to our fleet, so to speak?
Says, I've excellent opportunity, however, we are quite infested here, and this is a ghost ship. I personally do not wish to invite ghosts aboard what we have going for us.
We could just, is the planet below us, does it have people on it? I seem to seem to recall that planet having people on. Can we just go down there and sell it? Maybe they could scrap it for parts. Better than just
Well-
leaving it up here for someone else to infest their ship on accident.
It's a good thought, Vito. It's a good thought. Let's get the treasure aboard. Give me a moment to think about it. But I admit I do not feel terribly comfortable bringing such a ghastly ship aboard ours, especially considering it would thin our crew to man both. So, a good thought. I'll give it some thought. But let's get the job done to start with. Yes, Basan.
Once we've disabled their weapons, can we disable the hull before we embark back on our ship? Can we destroy it so completely it could never be used for anything?
Indeed. I think that might actually be a best of both solutions here.
Yeah.
Maybe
if we-
rig the mangonel to overfire into the actual hull.
On it.
I know I'm not on ship. I can
Yeah.
only input. So obviously, going back, you've obviously got one spare spelljammer. There's obviously another one there that can be taken, which would take the ship out altogether because they won't be able to use it, will they? If you take that.
It's a thought. It's a thought. But as of now, you guys are like, look at the disposition of the captain, and even the crew itself. The crew looks a little spooked aboard the ship, having just fought vampires and who knows what else could be lying in wait. Everyone looks a little uncomfortable. So the crew sort of takes position, sort of preparing just in case those pirates want to come back up and take another round. Captain says, all right, you four, with me, let's get this cargo looted up. So you guys kind of hop off. I think he would say, okay, anyway, we don't need to micromanage this whole thing. What happens is you guys go below deck, and you do indeed see a decent lot of treasure aboard the ship. It's not bad. It's not a bad haul. There's like shining gemstones mixed up with many pieces of coin and various chests and such. And you all start like throwing it in boxes and bags and start loading it up onto the deck of the ship. I'm gonna roll a little morale check, see if the pirates want to come back up top and make trouble. They definitely do not, with the loss of their captain. Make your way to the top of the ship. Everything is loaded atop. The captain signals for them to sort of take the Spelljammer helms, being the most prized possession. I imagine Basan, you and the Commandant are left to sort of rig the mangonels to take down the hull. Captain says, all right, crew, so something's been brought to my attention. We could try and take this ship and add it to sort of the beginnings of a fleet. I admit the prospect of taking a ship infected with undead makes me personally uncomfortable, especially considering manning this ship would require thinning our crew on the New Dawn, which is a little fragile right now. So, I leave it to you all to have input here. You understand my feelings? What are yours? Crew also sort of looks at each other a little uncomfortably, and they all seem to trust the captain's judgment, having a high crew quality right now with him and his previous victories. They all seem, we believe this way. Perhaps this one is not for us. I can't find my bow anywhere. And they decide that it's best to leave the ship.
What about Chaplin? Chaplin is a priest. Could he not bless or sanctify the ship against undead or cure it of its curses, etc., so forth and so forth?
Chaplin?
Yeah, I mean, I certainly probably could. I don't happen to have a spell like that prepared. But if we spend enough time, I'm sure I could.
I mean, with cleric, it's just meditation. It takes you 1 minute per spell level to meditate to change your spell list. So it should be pretty fast.
I don't believe that is a thing, my friend. I've never heard of that room before.
Here, I play cleric fairly often. Both druids and clerics can do this. Let me grab it. Let's see. You can change your list of prepare spells when you finish a long rest. Preparing a new list of cleric spells requires time spent in prayer and meditation, at least 1 minute per spell level for each spell on your list. So you should be able to do
At the end of a long
after
rest.
a long rest, right?
Yeah.
Well,
I suppose.
The captain says, Vito, I appreciate your tenacity, but the crew has spoken.
Fair enough. Can we then I see all these nifty little light things. I'm assuming they're torches. They are let's knock those over and burn their sails. And that will catch the ship on fire, and then it'll destroy itself.
That's very well. But first, and sort of like takes one of the torches and sort of waves it up at the New Dawn, which bellows in a little bit closer. And the loading and the ship does sort of turn itself around so that these two ships are their decks are sort of perpendicular, and they start like through the gravity plane start sending up all of the cargo. Everybody being very careful. You can hear the sort of at the bottom of the ship looking upward. And I'll roll the last morale check. Yeah, they seem completely uninterested in battling anything. Slightly mindless, in fact. The treasure seems to be loaded onto the ship. The Spelljammer helms are sent up. The captain says, all right, everybody board the ship. And everybody begins to ascend upward through various ropes and lines. All of you may as well. And the captain will give you the nod, Basan.
Yeah.
And the thing not having a stop on it anymore, you just sort of got rid of that. It goes like right into the actual hull in front of it and blasts a stone like right through the 3 decks beneath it. The commandant does the same thing on the opposite side of the deck. And on the way up, the captain does like take a torch out, hands one to Vito, and throws one off the side onto the rigging. And you may do the same as well if you wish.
Absolutely.
And then all of you ascend back onto the New Dawn and begin to move away as the ship crackles and burns and snaps and begins to fall apart. And you all return safe and sound to your own ship, which is a little damaged. More than a little damaged.
I want to say something really cool as we ascend, like
sure.
Dead men tell no tales, and then we just fly up their ship.
Yeah. The crew sort of they let out a little liking that. And you guys all reboard the New Dawn. I was gonna look at how many hit points I had left, but I don't remember. I think it was at like 2, and then it took the 67 additional damage, so it's like it's at like, okay, we'll just say it's there. All right, you guys all board the New Dawn. Where are you? There you are. Board back the New Dawn. There's sort of a hurrah from the ship. All the coin is loaded down and says, okay, everyone, let's set a course back to Anadia, back to the Starlight. We'll sort everything out there. The crew sort of goes back to the ship. Chaplin, this ship is a fucking mess. It has 400 total hit points. It's taken 267 points of damage. The New Dawn needs time at port. It is limping along, quite literally. The New Dawn has never been in such shitty shape.
I mean, the good news is that the last time that we were in port, we were able to take care of some major repair work relatively quickly.
That is true.
Would it make more sense for us to stop at a planet closer than go all the way back to the frozen place?
Captain says, absolutely, but for plot reasons, we must return to Anadia. There's maybe a new character waiting there.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It says, no, like actually plot-wise, we'll say, it's true, we did pick up the contract there, and I think it might gain us some reputation, which will be valuable in the long run. We could stop a little earlier, but it's not too far away. I'm willing to take the risk.
So what are the rules on mending? Because I also have mending. How much could we heal the ship on the way back?
I'm gonna double check that because non-magical repair. The mending is less. Damage ship starboard weapons restored.
Yeah.
So basically, once an hour, you can cast the mending cantrip, and an object, whether it be, it could be the siege weapons as well, if you want to repair the siege weapons, but they haven't taken any damage. That's a D8 plus your spellcasting ability modifier per hour.
Okay, and we have 3 of us who can cast mending, right?
That's
Right.
right.
So how long does it take us to get back?
Let's see.
I think there were different formulas for import and not, right?
That's right, because when you're doing non-magical repairs to a damaged ship, you have to be birthed for one, and it's a hit point. It's a hit point per day per 20 gold pieces. So it's much more expensive to have a not. It's much more expensive to just non-magically do it. But let's see here. Let me deal with one thing first. So let's see. You guys do 100 million miles away, and at the and Kapari is 250. So it's going to be 2.5 days to get there. So it's 2.5 days. It's going to be 48 plus 60. Hey, you might be doing good by the time you get back. That's about 60 hours. So that's 60 castings of, or between all of you guys, that's like 180 castings of men. So, hey, if it's fun for you guys, we could do that. But I'm pretty sure that'll cover the ship, because even if you rolled nat ones, 180 plus all of your modifiers. So yeah, we'll just say like by the time we return to Anadia, between the 3 of you, the ship can be repaired. But we need to see if flight goes soundly. Okay. Okay. Need to roll a little random encounter. Where are you? Where are you? Alright, here we go. If, John, if you'd be so kind, I'd like you to roll us a D100 to see what you guys find in space.
55.
55. Okay, cool. Whatever you are going to encounter, the Spelljammer picks up on it, but is advised to pass right on by, as the ship is damaged, but it's under a ton, so you don't have to drop out of cruise. So whatever, on the second day, you're about to face something, but the captain's like, let's just fucking plow through, because we don't need to stop. And you guys do. So you do miss some space eels, unfortunately. But over the next 2.5 days as you travel, all of you will get a long rest, and the ship will be repaired by the time it gets to Anadia. And more importantly, the captain says, sort of arrives up with Or Sakwo and says, well, everybody, I have some excellent news. The ship acquired quite the bounty while we were away. So we have divvied everything up, and there's going to be a significant bonus for everybody aboard the ship. And all of you are presented with 150 gold pieces, as it was a haul of a couple thousand gold off of that ship. So divvied up between the 18 crew members. The captain does sequester a quarter of the portion for the ship maintenance itself and other funds to make the ship a little more capable. He does say this publicly. He says, I will be sequestering a quarter of the funds in hope of support of perhaps procuring us some personal vehicles or better armaments to the ship as a sort of ship fund, as you will, but the rest of you will get a significant bonus, so good congratulations. And all of you will be the happy recipients of 150 gold. That, of course, is excluding you, John, I'm sorry to say, as you are not a part of the crew quite yet, but that's about to change. So as you guys, have those days go by, Varsh, maybe here and there, you might feel a little sort of nothing so visceral as what you've been feeling before, but especially after coming off of the ship, you feel this sort of like shiver up your spine, like the hairs standing up on the back of your neck, almost in a way that one does when they're like excited, like physically excited, and you almost are completely involuntary. You get the sense that some entity has been appeased by the action of late.
Just take a moment to breathe a sigh of relief.
Mm-hmm. And as the 2 days go by, indeed your stone has grown quite significantly, my friend. And in the hall, I would say it has grown to be about like 2/3 your size at this point, and you can't pick it up anymore. It is big. Like sitting there, it probably comes up to your chest now, like in height.
I mean, I guess I just roll it kind of like underneath my hammer. Could just be kind of like, well, I can't hide this anymore.
Okay. Hey, there's empty cargo bins in the hold if you wanted to try and stash it.
I can't lift it.
Oh, that's true. It's getting pretty heavy. You need a little help rolling that along, I think. But if you wanted, I'd say that there was like time where you're like, okay, this is getting a little hard to manage or to lift, and you could get it down there before it gets to that unmanageable size if you wanted to.
Probably have to just find a corner where I can just kind of like cover it in a tarp or like a cloth and just kind of hope no one checks what it is.
Lucky enough, nobody does. You seem to go back, or at least as far as you can tell, there's no murmuring amongst the crew. It seems to be kept safe, as far as you know. At which point, the ship does moor in, finally repaired, per the power of mending, through many autonomes and a single Adozi. And you guys will all indeed return to the Starlight Bistro aboard the planet of Anadia.
Now, this giant rock thing, does the whole crew know about it?
Nope. Nobody knows about it.
Nobody
except
knows
for a
about
couple select individuals.
Fair.
So
I was going to cast Identify on it if I knew about it, but I do not.
No, apparently you do not know about it. Especially considering you don't sleep. You wouldn't have spent any time in the crew quarters to have happened upon it, you know?
Oh yeah, I don't even go in the crew quarters. I don't need to sleep. I just stay on the deck or near the pilot ship. So
Exactly. So the new dawn comes in, and all of you are sort of given a little bit of a little shore leave to sort of wander about, get some drinks. And the crew definitely makes their way into the bistro to have a little celebration. And tonight you drink well. You come in, you drink well. The captain definitely buys everybody a first round, and he goes about his own business. And word very quickly begins to spread amongst the small community of the Starlight Bistro of a crew that just came in for the second time, gloating about the slaying of an infamous ghost ship. And I'm going to say somewhere aboard this ship, perhaps in the lower decks where, individuals reside. The party, you're not quite aware of this individual yet, but, my friend, below the deck, John, would you like to describe what your character might look like?
Okay, yeah. So, I'm a halfling. Short brown hair, brown eyes. I wear very dark clothing, with a bit of a hoodie type top. Very plain, tanned in feature due to the fact of where he lives in the sun and around on the sandy dune bit. And that's me.
All right. You sort of lightly tan, sort of shady halfling. You find yourself there. Given where you're standing is with the locals, or the locals that you're more acquainted with, you're maybe you're having a little bevy with an associate who you're a little closer with. And one of these individuals just sort of says, "Hey, you heard about this new crew who came in? I know you was looking for some new work. But you heard about this what do they call them? The New Dawn crew that just came through."
I've heard a little bit, but yeah, I need to get off this rock. So I'm gonna go and see if I can jump on board and.
Sure. Well, my advice to you. That sounds like a good move for you, friend. My advice to you, whether it's a lie or whatnot, just play up. About the war. Apparently most of the crew are like war vets as such. So if you were gonna get aboard, they just took a big haul. It could be very, very, how do I put it? A financially sound investment of your time.
That's good advice. Well, thank you.
All right. Well, good luck out there, mate.
Mind when I get up there.
All right. And he sort of just raises the glass to you, and he kind of saunters off as if he's uninterested. And you can make your way up to try and see about this new crew if you want.
Yes, I would.
All right, you make your way up. The bistro has many levels, and if you're looking for someone to have a drink, there is a sort of watering hole on the main deck, or the sort of I don't even know what we're calling it at this point. The upper deck. And you can head in there to the tavern to sort of see what you see. See if you can find anyone of interest who seems to be gloating about a recent haul. And I guess my question to the party, the other party that remember here, Basan, Varsh, Chaplin, and Vito, who here thinks they're having a little drink celebrating their reprieve with the crew, with other crew members without? Would anybody be sort of celebrating their take, gloating about their recent endeavors? Who would be sort of partaking in this carousing measure?
The bistro itself,
yeah, Vito?
traumatizes me. So I would actually stay on the ship.
Fair enough. Totally fair. So you're on the ship. What about you, Varsh? Are you not your scene?
He'll have a drink or two, but I don't think he's gonna be super
boisterous.
Raucous. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. So we'll say, I think it's quite fitting that the Commandant might be there as well. Basan and the Commandant are buddies. Chaplin's there. I just put you all. I need to just drop standard names on the deck of the ship for you guys. Chaplin's there. Basan's there, and Varsh is there, all sort of celebrating a recent triumph. So you, my friend, my halfling friend, sort of wander in. Do me a big favor, make me a perception check to see if you can sort of figure out who your newest mark might be.
That's an 11.
An 11. It seems to be that like half of the party members are actually hiding under the tables based on their posture, but that's okay. And you sort of like listen around. You're trying to find who might it be, sort of sauntering around. And you see this one table with a number of unique spacefaring racial individuals. One you see is a very sort of classic GIF military individual, large hippopotamus, broad, sort of half giant individual, has a big tankard in his hand. And he goes, "And you, Chaplin, I would be dead if it weren't for you. Here's to the auto gnome, ha ha!" And he sort of raises a cup. Chaplin, why don't you describe what your character looks like?
Sure. Chaplin is an autognome, so he's gnome-sized. He's made of some finer and shinier metals. There are a number of autognomes floating around out in the astral sea, helping on various ships and things. But they're mostly made to be functional and practical. So not a lot of artistry or finery has gone into them. But Chaplin specifically looks like he was made with a lot of tender loving care, for lack of a better word. He's very intricate, and there's a lot of use of shiny and ornate metals and decoration. Other than that, he just kind of looks like a gnome-shaped, gnome-sized robot.
Amazing. So yeah, the gift raises a cup to you. Sitting at the table as well is a GIF. Would you like to describe what your character looks like, Basile?
Yeah, so Bisan is female presenting, dark red hair, about 6 feet tall, built very much like a swimmer, so broad shoulders but lean. Clearly has a fair amount of muscle, but still looks kind of skinny, little underfed. Just sort of the general aesthetic
Appearance.
of their build.
Yeah.
They have upswooped pointed ears, like an elf, and in fact their features kind of have some of the prominence that could be mistaken for an elf if they had a nose, which they do not.
Which they do not.
They have some reddish markings that kind of stipple along the sides of their face and up their arms if you could see them. They have they have 2 swords actually strapped across their back with their shields. So if you can imagine what Geralt of Rivia, that kind of vibe, where it's the big round shield, but then the 2 swords got kind of that. And then if you look, she's got daggers here and there. It's clearly somebody who's a fan of arms.
A very pointy individual. And lastly at the table, maybe a little less boisterous than the others, a little more grim perhaps. Varsh, would you like to describe what your character looks like?
You see a Hadosia, kind of like, I don't know, Planet of the Apes meets a flying squirrel. To put it bluntly, have they have little wing flaps for gliding. He looks to be sort of like a middle-aged. He has some grey patches, and his hair's tied back in the long ponytails. You see, he's sort of very politely sipping his drink. His fur's largely black, and he has these very kind of like piercing amber eyes that occasionally kind of like looks off to the side, almost as if he's looking for something over his shoulder a lot. Wears sort of just like leathers, but they're sort of specially tailored to account for his weird Hadosi anatomy.
Hell yeah. So you, my halfling friend, as you're looking around, you see this table of individuals. They get very loudly saying, "Who would think a ghost ship taken by the New Dawn, such a brand new crew." I could drink all night to these stories of what is. You know what the ship needs? The ship needs a good bard to tell our tales to the world. And this gift's just going on. And you clearly have found some members of that crew. What would you like to do?
So, firstly, I want to go up to the bar and just point out to the barman, bartender, and just say, that table over there with the large gift, the gnome, and the gift, Yankee, and I'd like to buy that around that table of drink.
Goes, well, all right then, sir. No problem at all. The barkeep will charge you. There's 4 of them. World is let's see, 4, 8, 8, 16. That's gonna be 1 silver, 6 copper. Yeah. So 16 copper.
Okay.
Yeah, 16 copper. She says, right away, sir. And as you guys are sitting there celebrating, a round of ales is brought to the table by one of the barmaids who says, from that gentleman over by the bar, and you see this sort of tanned, hooded halfling over by the bar.
So when they get the drinks, I'll just politely nod and start making my way over.
Okay.
Yeah,
You do.
so
You make your way right up to the table. Go ahead, Chaplin.
as he's walking over, Chaplin can't drink liquids, but he loves the idea of being bought a drink, so he'll tip his mug up to his mouth slit, and kind of tip it back, let a little dribble down on the sides of his mouth, and set it back down and say, "That's very kind of you."
Chaplin's just
It's
a
my
constant
pleasure.
mess. Go ahead, sir.
So it's my pleasure. I heard about your feats with the ship, the ghost ship as it is. I'm very impressed. So I have a question. I need to find some work. I was wondering whether there was any room on the ship for a halfling.
I mean, the ship is big enough for a giant. I don't know if there are positions open, but we could ask the captain. We could ask.
That would be great. I mean, I'm very well versed in moving stock and acquiring stock or anything that in that particular way that we could use. I'm very good in that regard. I've done some fighting as well. It's not that I haven't, so I could
Yeah.
be of use.
Can you shoot things?
Yes, I'm very good with a hand crossbow.
Bisan looks at the commandant and says, "He can shoot things."
You can shoot things. Well, I'll tell you what. I need to, do what nature foretells when you're drinking. And perhaps I might go sniff out the captain, see if he might be. I know we do have 2 open positions on the ship, so I'll see if I can't go find the captain. Maybe you could all get to know our new potential crewmate. And the big Gif will lurch up, and he'll wander out of the bistro and go attempt to find the captain and bring him to see this new potential crewmate. And you guys are welcome to get to know one another in the meantime.
I'm sorry, what did you say your name was again?
My name is Zalance Silvercrest. You can call me Zal.
Oh, it's very nice to meet you. How did you get to be here?
It's a long, complicated story, but I came here as an orphan and was looked after by quite a few different people, as it was. So I've been here for quite a while, a good 20, 25 years.
Oh, in this place, you live here.
Yes. Below decks, there's quite a group of people down there.
Well, that's very interesting.
I heard you had some interesting stories from the ship. Was it tough up there?
Well, we haven't, the 3 of us here haven't been on it very long, but we've certainly seen a little bit of action.
There's been Scrow and
Undead.
Undead.
Pirates.
I'm sorry. Hurry a minute. I didn't ask for your names. Sorry. Anyway, my name's Sam. Hi, nice to meet you. You are? looking at
I am Bisan.
what's the table.
Bisani
Are you
Sandro.
showing?
I'm Vash, Voidlight.
And my
Yeah,
name's
sure,
Chaplin.
maybe.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, Chaplin. And you. So, you've not been on the ship long, so how did you come about being on there?
I got a very nice letter from the captain. I was invited.
Likewise.
The ship is a new ship that was commissioned, and we're part of the first crew.
Oh, right. So, you've not been together overly long then. So how are you all finding out there? Getting on with each other?
Everyone on board has I think everyone was in the war in some way. So we have a lot of common purpose. So there are things to talk about. It's nice. It's okay.
Good, good. Can I get someone else a drink?
The two I've had will do just fine, thank you. I'm curious. You said you live here. What's made you wish to take to the stars?
I need a change. I've been here too long. It's just time for a change. I need to do something different than what I've been doing.
Well, it's an exciting life up there, but a dangerous one. But if that's what you're looking for, then well,
I'm well versed with danger. This place isn't all it is cracked up to be. I've had my fair share. I know what it's like. I've lost people that are close, so I'm used to it. I just need to change.
Well, this sounds like a perfect fit. So far, it's been very entertaining out there.
It sounds so.
on that note, Chaplin, that elf.
The one with the bow.
Please do something to lift his spirits. That was a miserable display in that
Did
fight.
Chaplin make the elf sad? Is that why their bow is missing? Did you take that elf's bow?
I didn't take it. I didn't take his bow. I fiddled with it a little bit, and he had some trouble getting it back together.
You see he's like sitting alone in the back, like with like 3 mugs of ale, one's tipped over, and he's just got like his head on the table.
Chaplin looks over at him and looks back at Varsh and gives it a little consideration, and finally he's like, "You're right, Varsh. I'll involve him on the good end of a prank, and we'll lift his spirits in no time."
Good. It's hard to watch, you know.
He is very sad, and we are celebrating. Huzzah.
You're very quietly off. I missed every shot that entire. I just not the elf I used to be, I guess. Just moping in the back of moping off in the back of the bar. At which point, our wonderful gift friend does return with our even more wonderful captain. Zalus, you will see this really striking elf individual come into the bar. He has an obsidian black mace at his hip with almost like silver spikes coming off of it. He has very pale features, long sort of shimmering almost iridescent golden hair and black eyes with orange glowing pupils as if the sun was lit in his very eyes. And he approaches the table. He says, "So, I heard that there might be a new recruit amongst us. Is that you, sir?"
Ah, yes. Captain.
I see.
Take it. My
Pleasure
name
to meet
is
you.
Dan.
I'm Captain Lunarbow. It's a pleasure to meet you. Let me ask, go get some things right out of the way. What is your experience with the war? Are you, it's not a requirement, but we definitely prefer to have displaced veterans aboard the ship. We're trying to support those displaced by the war. Do you have any... What was your experience like with the Second Unhuman War?
Sorry, DM question here then. How long ago was this war? Because my character's maybe about 30, so I just want to get this sort of timelines about right.
No problem. Not long ago at all. It only ended a couple of months ago, and the war was less than 10 years long. But it was like a across the astral plane, like intergalactic war.
So most of my experience was within the shipping and supplying all the different troops and places. So that's where I came in. I did see a little bit of action where we needed to, but most of it was, supplies.
Ah. All right. Ship supplies, very interesting. Merchant vessels and the like?
Yes, that's correct.
I see.
It was very under the radar sort of things that we used to do. But
I see. Wouldn't it be horrible to have someone of your particular talents aboard our ship? We're trying to range out from the usual strictly... how do I put this? Protective objectives. We're trying to learn to range out into other sort of mercenary disciplines, so perhaps that could be of benefit to us. What role do you find yourself taking aboard a ship?
well, I mean, I'm okay. As I said, I can help with the supply runs, and I have contacts in certain places where we'll be able to get things if we need them, or possibly maybe for a bit of a deal. I'm not sure. It depends on what you want. But I'm certainly in that way of I can shoot, I can fight.
Are you an artillerist?
Not as such. I'm very handy with a crossbow and a
I
sword,
see.
or rapier, to be fair.
So above table, did you pick a ship rank?
I can't remember what I picked. I was there wasn't anything really because I didn't want to. I wasn't going to say that. I can't remember when it was now.
It's all good. Here, I'm going to pop it into your sheet real quick and take a look with you. Yeah, I don't think you picked a ship rank as of yet. That's okay though. We'll get you set up. Yeah, we don't need to worry about that right now. You'll take a look a little bit later. We'll talk about it. I do also know that you have the crossbow expert feat. How do you have that feat?
That was one on the list, on the feat list. Unless I was, because I just went on through the feat list that I had on here, or was it just from the feat list that you put on the chat?
I see. So when I originally messaged you, I was saying like take a ship rank as one of the feats. Okay. All good. Slight miscommunication. So whatever you end up deciding, we'll say that you sort of say that whether you decide to be a pilot or a commander or an artillerist, whatever you decide to be, he'll go, "Wow, that's so cool," and he will be like, "All right, well, we'll put you through your paces. We do have 2 positions aboard our ship that are open. So let's get you aboard, see what you're made of, and if you're impressed, then you'll have a place aboard the New Dawn.
Oh, thank you, Captain. I appreciate the chance.
Excellent, excellent. All right. Well, welcome. Welcome to the crew. I hope all of you will make our new friend comfortable aboard the ship.
Again, I do thank you for this chance. I won't let you down.
Let's see. I think he's going to look at you, Chaplin, and he's going to say, mind if I borrow you for a moment, Chaplin?
Give me 1 second.
All right, no problem.
Oops. Yeah, sure, no problem. What
Very
can I
well.
do for you, Captain?
He'll gesture you to like a nearby seat, and he'll say, I just have been trying to make the rounds. There's a lot of people aboard this ship, but I want to understand each individual. And I have to say, I was very impressed with your performance. I don't think things would have gone as smoothly with that ghost ship if you weren't around. The Commandant owes you greatly, and your initial dispersal of the enemy was very impressive. I was just curious. You're a cleric, yes?
I suppose you could say so. That's not something that I've ever done before, but I had a funny feeling, and I reacted to it.
I see. So you're sort of involuntary.
To some extent, I have a friend, and he helps guide me through what he thinks I ought to do.
I admit the clerical business is a tad bit beyond me. I more consider myself to be something of a paladin. But so I understand a little of what it's like. But if you ever wanted to understand more, discover that, please let me know. And as usual, if you ever have any inklings to possibilities for the crew, if you have any leads, I'd be more than happy to investigate those. And maybe there's something to be earned for the crew.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'm always happy to be of more help. And I have to admit, I don't quite understand fully the way that my relationship with this individual works. Unfortunately, my maker had to abandon me a little prematurely, so I've had to figure some things out on my own.
Oh, that's always a shame to hear. Well, if there's any guidance required, Chaplin, my door is always open.
That's very kind of you, sir. Thank you.
Certainly. I don't want to assume either. I'm not trying to demean your own experience. You seem to be, if I was none the wiser, you seem to be quite on top of things.
Well, I take a lot of pleasure in doing a good job, and pleasure is kind of the entire reason that I move from place to place. So, I seek out happiness and thrill, whether that comes in the form of assisting other people or finding a little bit of humor in things that may not otherwise be humorous.
So I have noticed. And not necessarily the worst thing to have on a crew between you and me. And if you tell anybody I said that, I'll deny it outright. But I do appreciate the levity you bring to the crew.
I've heard it's important for morale. The orcs were not quite as fun.
No, they're a real shit race. But anyway, that's all. Just wanted to get to know you better, Chaplin.
Well, thank you. It was nice to have a word with you, and I will take you up on that. I'm sure that there's some things that you can teach me.
All right, very well. All right. And he'll grab you as well, Basson, and says, I hate to be involved, just want to have a quick word with you as well, if you don't mind.
Yes, of course.
Speak to you as well. Says, I'm trying to wrap up getting to know everybody aboard the crew on a sort of one-on-one level. I don't want this to be just a master and commander situation. So I wanted to First off, Sabason, I appreciate very much your tenacity and your perseverance aboard the ship. It hasn't gone unnoticed. You're a valued member of this crew.
Thank you. Thank you.
I believe you told me that you were Gith Zerai, yes?
I'm Gitsarai.
And I had already talked to you about keeping an ear to the ground about your people, and I wish I knew more about them. But that isn't to say, if you find something of your own, please bring it to me. I would be very interested to, well, let me just say, I don't really know what the destiny of this ship is, but I have a feeling that the Astral Sea is going to put it before us in a way, when the time is right.
I like this.
Glad to hear it.
I was thinking about Garden.
Yes?
I don't think anyone wanted to leave them out by themselves. But there are costs involved, obviously, in going across the sea. But if
Yes.
we broke even, and if we all did very well on the last job, and if there was another Spelljammer helm, since you're collecting them, I think people did not like not going.
People did not like not going.
To Garden.
Yes, I admit that was a bit of a sore spot for me as well. Well, during the war, that would have been something I would have jumped at the chance for. That's just simply the right thing to do. But we all did agree boarding this ship that our motives would be more for the protection of ourselves. I have no ill toward the Elven Armada. They are what they are, and times are what they are, and they can't keep employed all of us soldiers any longer because of what the Scrow did. But nonetheless, we are on our own. And, well, you know what they say, the crown wears heavy. And I think it is the responsibility as the captain to ensure that, I guess, mission we agreed upon stays firmly rooted until such a time that the crew decides they want to do something else. So, anyway, that is all to say that I agree. It didn't feel right, but also the best decision was plain, if you understand.
I don't lament the decision we made. I was perhaps suggesting that now that that's done, if we don't have anything else to do and we're going to break... I'm not saying this well. I'm sorry.
You wish to go to guard and attempt the rescue now that other more beneficial practices are out of the way.
For your consideration.
Very admirable. I will speak to the Aura and see if they can track any movements towards the garden section of the system, and perhaps ask around here and see if that job is still available. It has been quite a few days since then. It's been about 4 days since then, standard. But I will look into it. It's a good thought. Thank you.
Thank you.
The captain very promptly sort of gives you a nod, and we'll stand and we'll promptly go off to perhaps seek that information. And you could all join together at the table once more. Is there anything else anyone would like to do tonight in the celebration?
Oh, I have an idea.
All
I'm
right.
gonna let me go find the sad elf.
All right. You make your way to the back of the bistro. You find the very sad elf from your crew, who's very deep in his cups. And he goes, "Oh, hello, Chaplin. Care to share a drink with an elf long past his prime?"
Well, I don't think that that's true at all. Did you see me speaking to the captain just over there?
Yes.
Well, he'd stopped by to mention that he thought a number of the crew were doing an absolutely fantastic job. Some of us through action, others through just our presence and experience and leadership. And your name was mentioned.
Make a deception check.
All right.
Funny enough, I'm going to give you
no.
an advantage because he wants to believe it.
It's still terrible.
What'd you roll? 8?
Eight. Wait. Let me
Okay,
add
okay.
something.
Okay.
All right, 11.
11. Let me go look at the passive insight of these guys. Beats it. He looks at you and he goes, "Truly, he mentioned my name."
Oh yes,
But-
very definitely. At least I think it's your name. It seems like it would be your name.
Fuck.
You did definitely gesture in this direction.
Because he definitely said my name, which is Penellis. I'm Penellis, right? He said my name.
Yeah, if you'd like, I could replay it for you. So I'll disguise self and make myself the captain.
Okay. Yes. Whoa.
And be like, and if it wasn't for the noble presence of that elf over there.
The captain said that about me, but my bow arm has been sullied these last 2 encounters. Why? I don't understand. How can he value me? An elf who can't even shoot a bow.
Well, not every missed shot is necessarily a detriment to the crew. Sometimes some of the younger folks just need to see some of the older folks struggle a little bit to make them a little more human.
So while these are
Human?
talking,
Yeah, go ahead.
can I walk up behind Chaplin and just say, Chaplin, is this the fella that you're on about, the one that helped you out so much on the ship earlier?
It certainly is. Isn't he something to see?
Wow, that's amazing. How did you believe it now?
He just openly starts crying. Just fully just starts bawling. Just he just like completely like breaks down. He's been having a rough week or two. and he gets all this appreciation. He goes, "You mean it? The crew doesn't think I'm a failure."
Oh, not at all. I mean, I'd take another look at that bow. Clearly, there seems to be something a little amiss there, but once you get it all straightened out, I'm sure it'll be fine.
You think it's the bow and not the elf that uses it?
Oh, heavens no, not the elf that uses it.
Okay. I'm just gonna go buy a new bow now. Thank you, Mr. Chaplin. And he'll give you a hug. And he'll shake your hand. Sorry, learning the name still. Zalus. He'll shake your hand and goes, "I don't know who you are, sir, but well, thank you too." I don't know why my accent just changed, but it did. And he takes his bow and he like snaps it over his knee and he like throws it, and then he sort of drunkenly stumbles out of the bistro towards the market.
Kevin will very proudly skip back over to Varsh and be like, "See, Varsh, I fixed it."
How much of this is actually here?
You're sitting pretty close. Make a perception check to see if how much you gauge on this. Bassan, you can roll as well if you wish.
12. So I pass it.
12. What'd you get there, Bassan?
10.
10. You guys listen, like you're kind of picking out every other word, but between the two, you're like, okay, like he said this. What do you say? Is like he said this. Oh, okay. So you two are able to like work together to form out the whole conversation. You hear everything, yeah, and you see him kind of like walking out of the bar, doing like a full like, like just like happy that he's not a failure and that he is appreciated by the crew.
Well, there's a lot more tears than I would have expected, but I guess we'll see how he does in the next battle.
Are the happy tears better than the sad tears?
I suppose. Just
because he's still crying.
Oh yeah, but now he's crying with happiness, and he's about to get a new bow.
well, that's good because that thing he was holding in the battle before was just it looked like some sort of weird contraption that I can't even begin to describe it.
His bow did not bow well.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
All right. Interesting. Okay, so this is tricky. So you guys drink, you have a good night or whatever, and I'm just looking around the table here. This is what I did draw. All right, actually, I changed my mind.
We can't get into a bar fight and get kicked off the moon.
I mean, you can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. Actually, as the night's sort of rolling up to an end or at whatever point, you guys are actually going to be approached. The captain will return once more, and he's sort of looking around. He says, Chaplin, could I've got something for you. I noticed that one of our crew members who has been having a hard time seems to be well encouraged again, and I think he was going on about you. So I wanted to provide you a little reward from the loot of our last haul. I think this belongs in your hands and nobody else's. And he is going to present to you a strange sort of patchwork bag that is a rust color. He's going to say, this, my friend, is a very special bag, and it is not an ordinary bag. It is made from tan cloth. Take a look inside. You look inside and you see small fuzzy objects that look like various animals. He says, this is what is known as a bag of tricks. And it was taken from the hull, and I can think of no better member of the crew to own it. So I'm giving this to you, and hopefully it will aid you in your endeavors.
A bag of tricks? This sounds amazing.
So you may add to your inventory a rust bag of tricks.
I love bag of tricks. Bag of tricks is amazing.
Tricks are for kids, silly rabbit.
Great. Thank you.
Yes, of course. And I think lastly, he's gonna go to. I'm gonna roll to see who he presents the last one to. Oh, no, that's wrong. Yeah, because it's between the two of you guys. Because you're. Yeah, he goes up to you, Varsh, and he says, "Varsh, I hope you do not take offense when I say there's something mystic about you. I know your disciplines are more in the understanding and tracking of the world, understanding it in a sort of more you're a ranger. But I know that there's something more to you, and I think that it would be fitting if you were able to explore that more aptly. So from the loot of the last haul, we took this, and I'd like to present it to you. And he is going to hand you it's like a bronze, copper-colored circlet of intricate design, and it has 3 rubies embedded in the front of the circlet. And he says, this is what is known as a circlet of blasting. It should provide you a little extra firepower on the field of battle. And of course, do with it what you will. If you wish to present it to someone else, go right ahead. But it was from the last haul, and I wanted to take a moment to appreciate your skill and your experience on the ship.
Well, thank you, Captain. I shall make good use of this.
Glad to hear it.
And I kind of like glance over my shoulder a bit, kind of thinking, would she approve? Oh, she'd probably approve.
You can always ask. She's there, omnipresent. All right. You can add to your inventory a circlet of blasting.
Cool.
Is there anything anyone else would like to do in and around the Starlight Bistro tonight, or aboard the ship, as one of you is aboard the ship still?
I would like to go out and purchase our hippo friend a nice, thick neckband to prevent him from getting shot in the neck again.
All right. You go around, you're looking for like a neck guard. You go to some armor, and there's you get one of those, I'm not going to be able to know the word for it, at least not technically speaking, but those, almost those metal braces that you sort of like clasp around the neck, and it sort of sits as like a, almost like a half plate, neck brace.
Can it be a choker that says daddy on it?
I mean, you can if you want. you want it. The guy's like, I mean, I'll do it if you want.
Yeah, absolutely. He can be the hippo daddy.
Is there a particular language you want that wrote in?
Elven to be hilarious, because then only elves he could be an elf daddy.
Whatever you want, sir. Robot's strange. And he'll engrave it. We'll say 2 silver for the armor neck brace, and you can go present it if you wish.
Absolutely, yeah. I'll go ahead and give it to him.
You sort of like walk into the bistro, looking around a little like,
yeah, I'm glaring. I'm seething with rage.
Yeah, you see the person sort of waves to you at the bar. Is like, "Oh, welcome, sir." Oh, okay. No idea what they did wrong. And you approach. The gift says, "Ah, Vito, you decided to join us after all."
Yes. Well, I just very quickly. I don't want to be here too long. I've went out and got you a gift, one that hopefully will keep you from nearly dying in the future.
Well, I have certainly like not dying. Thank you. A gift from me? How kind. And he'll take it and go, my, this is excellent, and it fits my aesthetic perfectly. What does this say over here?
It says daddy in Elvish.
Oh, wow.
Vasha looks over like, well, so it does.
I don't know what to say, Vito. Uh,
just try not to get shot in the neck again. I don't want to have to buy you any more S&M gear to save your life.
wow, I can't tell you how thankful and uncomfortable I am right now. Well, I will wear it proudly.
Excellent. I've got to get out of here before these smells. Before I shoot someone with a fork in their gullet. I gotta get out of here.
Oh, I should return a favor. Would you like me to buy you some bolts for your crossbow?
No, I prefer using these silverware I've fashioned into it fits my aesthetic better. But if you'd like to find me some more silverware, I'll continue to use them as ammo though.
Okay, I will be on the lookout for bolt-shaped silverware.
I don't know if it matters at all, but during the ransacking of that ship, I would have taken all the silverware. And on the way back, I would have sharpened that into bolts. Not bolts per se, but like sharp spoons, and the forks would stay the same, but maybe they have fletching on them. I don't know. However you want to roll
it. Do you have any tool proficiencies that could help you sort of fashion a bolt out of these things? Like smithing probably would be the way to go.
My tool proficiencies are like chef's tools, and what's the one for drinking? I don't have it.
Brewers.
Right brewers tools.
Yeah.
So I don't have anything special.
If you do load just like standard cutlery into your band crossbow, it's probably going to be a disadvantage. But if you wanted to go down to the smith and be like, yeah, make these into like cool looking bolts, and you were willing to spend like, how much do bolts cost here? Not much, just to like modify them. Let's see here. Then you could definitely do this without issue. Crossbow bolts, 20 for a gold piece. I'll say if you're willing to spend 5 silver, he can make you like a bundle of crossbow bolts out of cutlery.
Excellent. I'll go ahead and do that as well.
All right, so you mark off 5 silver. The smith will sort of prep that for you, and we'll have it delivered to you before you fly away. And you can, you can have some spoon-shaped bolts, or bolt-shaped spoons, I should say.
Excellent. Just as a reminder, how much gold did we get from that? I'm having a hard time figuring out where to write this in here.
200 in your inventory on D&D Beyond. There is a spot at the top right that lets you track your coin.
Excellent. I'll add that right now. I'm not used to D&D Beyond.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was 150. It was 150 gold pieces. My apologies.
It's too late. I can't fix it. I can't.
Well then, someone steals 50 gold.
Yeah. All right. Fair. As long as the economy is going around. All right.
Yeah.
Thieves are people too.
Thieves need to pay for their stuff too. Yeah. All right. So with that, we sort of zoom out, sort of punch out. Yeah, go ahead.
On the way out, hearing that conversation, I'm gonna have a look to see if there's any silver utensils or anything lying around on the tables. Will I see anything?
All right. No real check required. Very easy to look at the various tables and see what cutlery they got. I'm not gonna say silverware, implying that it's made of silver, as this is like a bar. But there's plenty of like tin, simple metal cutleries around, absolutely.
So I just want to try and steal a handful.
Hell yeah, make me a sleight of hand check.
So that's 14.
14. Yeah, you're stealing like handful, like you're just like putting them in one at a time, but before you know, you have a bag full of them. At one point, I'm sure like a barmaid like sees you putting like, just like on the odd chance, like sees you putting like a fork in your bag, and you just like look at her. And she like looks at you and she just sort of shrugs and kind of goes back to work like she doesn't give a shit. And you easily acquire, we'll say like 20 pieces of cutlery.
Okay.
Metal cutlery.
So then, yeah, okay. I'll keep that hold of that from you.
Incredible. So as we sort of punch out, the party has celebrated their defeat of this infamous ghost ship. You've all received some rewards here and there, and it was a little victory, and you guys are gonna proceed into the astral plane for further adventures. But for now, we are going to end the session. Good job, folks. Sorry it took a little bit to get to your character there,
So
John.
I
It was
understood. Yeah, you're in the middle of a combat, so it's fair enough.
a little tricky, but we'll definitely get into the good stuff soon. And by soon, I mean in a couple weeks, as I will be off in another country. But we'll get back to it soon enough. And thanks for playing, and hopefully maybe some people have some one-shots up the sleeve.